Yo, what's up? We are back for another show. I'm your host, Cril of Out the Box. Got my brother A Level with me
What's
to my
happening?
left, my
What's
right. I
happening?
don't
What's
know.
happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's going on?
What's good, brother?
Oh man, my Knicks won, bro. This is overtime.
Oh, you watching the game? That's what's up.
Overtime. We won. We pulled it out. It's a back-to-back. That's that's a 7-game winning streak we on right now. So shout out Orange and Blue Skies, baby.
That's what's up, man. They won on Christmas Day too. I was able to catch some of that game, not the whole joint, but I was able to catch some of that game. Yeah, man. So listen, man, we here for our I would say this is our final pretty much show as a collective for the year. With the Out the Box Talks panel. I want to apologize for starting a little late to all the people out there that was waiting. We were trying to get some things ready and trying to make sure the technical difficulties are not in the way. So we're gonna have a good show for y'all tonight. As you know, this has been a very interesting year for hip hop, and we're gonna be going through our selections of our favorite albums and EPs of the year. There's so much.
Not to interrupt you, but Funk Doc said he backstage, man.
Indeed. I'm gonna bring my brother Funk Doc in, my brother Mark. So let me get him in here as well. Word. Let me add Mark. What's good, brother?
Yo, what's good, man? Can you hear me? I'm sorry, I missed the mic check.
I can hear you. I can definitely hear you.
Cool.
You do have a little echo. I'm hearing like my voice in the back, so you might. I'm getting a little
feedback.
feedback.
Turn you down. I gotta turn you down. I guess. There we go. Is that better?
Yeah. Sounds better. Okay. I do still hear myself a little bit.
Man, shoot.
But we'll get it. We'll get it situated. I guess if for now, as I'm talking or as anyone else is talking, you could just kind of mute it.
Shout out to Jacob Alamo, Sacred Soul, Talia Gem in the chat room already. What up?
What's up? That's what's up, man. Big ups to everybody tuned in. Yeah, man, we have a special show tonight. We got a lot of joints to go through. I got a little PowerPoint slide put together. So I know Mark in the chat earlier, I was basically trying to get y'all to share some of y'all lists earlier, just so I could put it together, put the images, the artwork together in this presentation. But some people sent some of their artwork in. Shout out to Collegiate, who may join the stream as well. Big ups to him, and A Level sent his. So Mark, wherever there might be some it's all good.
I missed that. But yeah, I'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll work it out. The cool thing is that there's probably going to be overlap anyway. Like some of the selections that I have, or A Level have, or Collegiate has. He sent in his. He may join the stream. Shout out to Collegiate. So if it's up there, if it's one of your selections, we'll also share it. Because we already got the artwork. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. So how's everybody doing, man? How y'all doing for the holidays? The new year coming up. How's everybody feeling?
Everything is gravy, man. Just like that. 2024 is gone. It's gone.
Grand opening, grand closing.
3 days. That's it. Over.
Wow, I can't believe it, man. This year seemed like it flew, and it was another great year for hip hop. I think really when you think about like the OGs, like a lot of elders in hip hop released some dope albums this year, man. Dudes
a lot of music.
A long time.
There was a lot of music this year, bro.
Word up. Yeah, man. So we're gonna get into that music. I'm looking at the chat real quick. Shout out to Jacob Alamo, Sacred Soul, Talia Gem. What's good? Yeah, man. So we are streaming live on Out the Box TV as well as Out the Box Media. Again, apologies for starting a little bit later on, but I think you guys are going to be in for a treat tonight. this is always the time of the year that I look forward to, just to take a reflection and a look back on all the dope projects we've gotten through the year. So I'm also curious to see what people have been feeling this year. So you could put your selections in the chat as well if you're tuning in via the stream, you know, and you're watching the stream. So yeah, man, we're gonna start this show with you know, just getting right to it, because I know we don't have a lot of time. You know, I know A level, you got to be out at a certain time. So we're gonna go right into it, man. So the way we're gonna do it is how we usually have done it before, where, you know, we'll go from 10 to 1, and it'll start with either me, you, A level, whoever wants to start first, and then we'll just rotate. Everybody will rotate their 10, then we go to 9, everybody rotate their 9. Same thing going downwards. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right.
Jacob Alamo says I'm dropping his first project in 2025, so we got a lot of new work coming out in 2025. Shout out to you, Cril. You got a new project coming out. You know.
Yeah, thank you for letting me know that, and yeah, shout out to you, Jacob. Definitely, send that project. You know, when it comes out, send it to outtheboxradiorap@gmail. You know, definitely want to check it out, see what it sounds like and stuff. You know, as you know, I got the website outtheboxmedia.com, where pretty much on a daily basis, you know, regularly we're posting new hip hop and new soul releases to keep people informed with the new, you know, music that's out there, you know. So thanks for letting us know that. And yeah, A level, my new EP is about to be out. It's going to be out. I'm looking at like late January, you know, so really early 2025. And I just released my new single. It's called Keep Going, off of my new EP that's going to be coming out next year. So look out for that. The single is on Bandcamp. It's exclusively on Bandcamp right now. It'll be coming to digital streaming platforms, you know, a little later on, but it's on Bandcamp. So I'll make sure I put a link in the in the description for you guys to check that out. But the Bandcamp link is krill.bandcamp.com. So thanks for reminding me of that, A level. I just released that single today. So go check that out.
Word up. Go check that out.
Word. Indeed,
up,
man.
I'm glad you're still coming with the heat, bro.
Thank you, brother Mark. I appreciate that. So one other thing I want to say, Mark, what you could try to do too is look to see if your settings with your audio is set up like on the Restream, because we're using Restream now. Look at the set. I don't know if there's I don't know how it looks on the guest, but maybe A level you could show him. But there should be like a settings.
There's a wheel. There's a settings wheel right there to your right.
Yeah, and check to see if your audio is synced up correctly. Like whatever device you're using for the audio, it should be the audio input and possibly your audio output as well. And that should definitely get you right. No doubt. Yeah, man. People are tuning in, man. This episode is gonna show up. You know, this video is gonna stay up pretty much, you know, after we run live, so you could catch it at any time. So if people are tuning in after the live, then you know, definitely feel encouraged to share your content, you know, your comments on your favorite albums and favorite EPs of the year. Look like Collegiate joined, so let me bring him in as well.
Yeah. Yeah, boy.
What's good, brother?
Yeah, boy.
My man Collegiate in the spot. For those that don't know, Collegiate he's like our young brother in the crew, you know, in the Out the Box crew. And he you know, he has a lot to offer, man. He's a producer himself. You know, he's a student of hip hop. A level, you do the honors. I don't want to talk too much, man.
That's my pride and joy, my baby boy, spitting image, A level junior, Albert Edward Cano the third. You know, is literally spitting image. If I couldn't have just seen a better me through him, there it is right there. That's exactly who I am and how I looked at 20, you know, 21. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just honored. I feel like LeBron and Bronny, you know what I'm saying? Playing in the same game in the same time in the same league, to be on the same time as a podcast with my son is like, that's the greatest thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad that he's involved, man, you know, and being a part of the stream and stuff. So yeah, man, this is your first time on the stream, so that's what's up. But he's part of the Out the Box
He's
fam,
a
man.
student. He's a real student, and it's refreshing to see, you know, young people, right? You know, in this day and age, that really have an open mindset to everything, you know, and there's a lot of hope, you know what I'm saying, when you see kids like Collegiate right here. You know, there's hope for the future.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So yo, we gonna get this thing started. I know brother Mark is like working out his audio. We gonna work it. We gonna make this thing work either way. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, let's jump this thing off. So I guess I'll start it off. I'll go with my number 10.
Oh, my fault.
And
Hold
then
on. I
we'll
was on
move
mute.
in
I
the,
didn't even know I was on mute. Hold on. Wait.
oh, he's on mute.
Yo, listen, hold on. I'm finally here. I'm finally here. I'm finally here.
Yeah.
I'm finally here. Shout out to everybody though. Let's get it.
That's what's up, man. I ain't even realize you was on mute. So yeah, so we're gonna go in this order. It's gonna start with me, then A level, then Mark, and then we'll go with collegiate. All right, so we're gonna go. What's that? Is that like clockwise? So we're going left to right, left to right, left to right. All
So
right.
we start
You
with
good, Mark?
who?
I don't know.
You gonna start with me?
Is it better or no?
I don't hear the echo, but I still like you. I don't. It's like I don't hear your mic. I feel like I'm hearing.
Yeah,
just
it sounds
the
like we're
natural
hearing
Yeah, because I
your
had to try
computer
to turn the mic
speakers.
off just to try to see if that was what was echoing. So
Yeah, nah, it's like we're hearing your computer microphone. It's not like we're hearing your mic, you know.
yeah, all right. So
if you
this
check,
is
go to settings.
Sorry, y'all. We're doing sound check live. Sorry, but
it's all good. I don't hear the echo anymore, but I don't hear like your mic. Like I'm not hearing your mic audio. It sounds like it's just picking up, like A level said, your computer audio.
and right now, I turned the mic on now.
Oh, I actually hear it now. I hear your mic
Really
now.
clear,
Yeah,
really
I hear
clear
you
now.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry, y'all.
All right, let's do this, man. So yeah, so I'm gonna just start it off. My number 10 favorite album of 2024. I guess I should do a drum roll, right? I don't have my sound effects today, but I'm gonna do a quick drum roll. So this is my number 10 favorite hip hop album of 2024. Now let me say this: there's much more than 10, right? But we're gonna reserve that for the blog post because we just don't have time to post. You know, I don't have time to put up all my 10 for this video. I mean, my more than 10 for this video. So I'm gonna go with my number 10. Go hit y'all with that real quick. Bear with me. Let me get it up. So my number 10 favorite album of 2024 goes to my brother. His name is JSWISS, and the album is called You Never Really Know. That's my number 10. He released that album on Bandcamp initially, and then it eventually came to just through streaming platforms. JSWISS is a good friend of mine, and you know we all pretty much know him. Put that album out really well, thought-provoking concept album. Has some really rich production, like live instrumentation on there, man. So that's my number 10. JSWISS, You Never Really Know.
Nice.
And for whatever reason, I got the album art for that album. I don't know why. But that was my number 10.
Shout out to JSWISS.
So I'm gonna pass the mic to you for your number 10.
Who, me? Yes, sir.
That's you.
So here we go. Here we
Let's
go.
go.
All right. Number 10. Drum roll,
Does
please.
he have a 10? Does he have a 10?
You got a strong 10.
Oh, yeah,
Here we
usually
go.
he
Here
would
we
have
go.
5.
Here we go.
Wow.
I ain't gonna start the nonsense now. He gonna start the
Alvin
foolishness now.
tapped in.
Listen. I tapped in this year, y'all. I tapped
love
in
it.
this year, y'all. Y'all are gonna be surprised. Y'all gonna be surprised.
All right, let's do it.
Cril already got my list. So starting at number 10, that's LL Cool J, The Force. LL Cool J,
LL Cool J, The Force. Let me throw that up real quick. LL Cool J, The Force. That's a dope album, man.
Yeah. I was
Really
really very impressed with this album. It had, out of the most albums that came out this year, this is the one that kind of stuck to my ribs a lot because of the musicality on there. You have Q-Tip as the sole producer on the entire project. It's a Queens connection, unusual Queens connection, you know, where you got the abstract, you know, connecting with LL Cool J, you know, the GOAT, the alleged GOAT, you know what I'm saying? So we got tracks like Passion. Wow. Man, that's the amount of things that's happening on that record, man, like it's ear orgasm, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the energy and the ferocity that I hear in LL's flow and voice, I haven't heard that since Mama said knock you out. I haven't heard that, you know, in LL since like Rampage LL. Like he is bringing it on this album. He's not playing. Like it's not he's doing his ladies love thing, but it's on a different level. It kind of sounds like you know, Booming System kind of LL Cool J flow, you know. If I could even compare it to that. And I mean, you got Passion, you have other tracks like Saturday Night Special with Joe, Rick Ross. Man.
That was a dope one, man. That's like my favorite track on the album.
Yeah, and then you have another one of my favorites is Black Code Suite. Black Code Suite is crazy. With
he went off.
With Sona Jabarte, and Proclivities with Sweetie.
Yeah, that's another dope track, man.
Yeah.
I think when we talk about like the OGs in hip hop, man, like that was one of the albums that you know, it surprised me a little bit, you know, because I know you A-Level, you were saying that you never heard L rap like that, you know.
I haven't heard him rap like that in a while. In a
while, right, right. Yeah. So I mean, it was really dope to get that. I think the features really worked well for that album too. I did a review on that album on the Outbox.
Also, before you continue, I just wanted to, probably if y'all ain't realized this already, but I just realized it recently that the force is not just the force; it means something, right? It's called the frequencies of real creative energy, right? That's dope.
Dope. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's that. It's right there on the album cover. You see it right there now.
But it's written so crazy you don't even think about it. Yeah.
Right.
Word. Yeah, man. So there it is. Yo, Collegiate, you got me in the. I hear echo with me. You got video on or something?
Yeah, you might have to cut your phone. Okay. Cut the volume.
What about now? You still hear
echo? Yeah, still echo.
I think it's good. I think I hear you though.
Join back. Hold on.
I think I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But yeah, that was a dope project, man. So we're gonna go next to Brother Mark. Let us know what your number 10 favorite hip hop album or EP of 2024 is.
Is the echo still an issue or?
Nah,
am I good?
Great.
No, you're good.
Because I was hoping it wasn't, you know. But so yeah, number 10. Sorry, catch y'all off guard with the graphics and whatnot. But I got my man Vince Staples at number 10. dark times. You know, Vince Staples, I mean, to me, has been so consistent. Um, excuse me, and it's been a it's been a cool to watch him just develop as an artist over the past few years, from figuring out the game to like to figure out how to play get his music placed in video games or do festivals and things like that, and doing projects with Kenny Beats and just going in all kinds of different directions. And each time I feel like every album he makes, the last one was Ramona Park. Um, each album that he makes becomes just a real definitive and like well polished statement about where he is just in general. Always just always keeping his roots, solid and firm, and making it clear about his life growing up in California and Cali, and just having really just challenges as a young man, dealing with relationships, you name it. So I really liked his effort, his entry this year as well. Oftentimes relying on live production for certain songs. Um, uh, a couple songs, like one song, he actually kind of gets into like a New Orleans bounce with a song called Etouffee, song called Black and Blue, which is all live production. I don't really know who produced all the songs, but it's like just a real diverse album, still with that California laid back to it. Vince Staples, like cool dude, funny as heck, and it definitely he's able to convey his personality through his rhymes. So, Dark Times, he just for me he stays in my top 10. It's just not because I'm biased or I know him or whatever, but it's just he just always puts out a quality project, something you could really like, just 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 be able to vibe to, and also just with substance. So Vince Staples, Dark Times, number 10.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I wish I had the album art queued up, but yeah. So, but we'll recognize that, man. I'm gonna definitely check that out. It's that's why I love doing these type of shows with y'all, because there's stuff. Even though I'm checking for a lot of stuff, there's things that I literally miss as well. So for whatever reason, I don't get a chance to check it out. So I'm glad that you guys are sharing that as well. And for those that feel free to leave your comments in the in terms of your favorite albums this year in the comments as well, because I want to check out other people's selections. All right, so I got my brother Collegiate back in the place. So your turn, man. Number 10. What's your top your number 10 favorite album or EP of 2024?
It was a lot, man. Like it was mad music that dropped this year. That was good. That was fire. But for number 10, I'm gonna have to say Skyzoo, Keep Me Company.
All
Yeah,
right.
that shit was fire. Like Skyzoo, I always been a fan of Skyzoo for mad long. Ever since like his album In Celebration of Us that came out a few years ago. And I just like the way he raps. Like he's very like tailor made with his raps. Like the raps that he designs is strictly made for the albums. Like the albums and his lyrics match up. It's like it's a perfect balance. The beats is fire, the lyrics is fire. He's just incredible. He's really incredible.
What's up?
No doubt, man. And I'm I'm glad that you brought that up, because I feel like Sky released two albums this year, even though this album, Keep Me Company, was really the solid, album of the year. The other one was more of a deluxe version. But yeah, Sky doesn't miss, man. He's been like that for the last 7 years, man. Just music after music, and he just gets better and better. And so I'm glad that you added him to that list. He's one of those artists that I feel like every time he releases an album, you're always looking forward
Yeah,
to it. You're always
he
looking
has a
forward to it.
great presence. His presence is crazy on albums, like and his rollout for albums, especially for this album. Like he put out a single with Method Man just for like promotion. Like he didn't even put that on the album. He just gave people like, oh, this is what you need to look for. Like he's very like tailor made. Like I said, like his artistic approach. He just knows exactly what he wants to do. He knows exactly how his fans are supposed to feel. he's just great. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of people don't put him where he needs to be in terms of like lyricists and MCs, but like he's incredible. Like he's better than a lot, like 75% of the industry right now. That's just my humble opinion. But he did drop an album this year, but that was a deluxe for that album that he dropped last year. So, but this, this is
Yeah.
definitely number 10 for sure.
You got
That's
a
what's
favorite
up,
song
man.
off
Shout
the
out to
album?
Skyzoo.
Oh, it's
Chat is
called
asking, what's the
Allende.
favorite song?
It's,
What's the favorite
it's
song
called
off the
Allende.
Skyzoo project?
It's called Allende at the March, I think, at the Million Man March or something like that. Yeah, that was fire. That was fire.
Bro, I didn't even know he dropped. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
I was lunching.
Yeah, he dropped that album in November, like the ending of November.
It's a lot of albums
November
that came out on the hush in the fourth quarter, man. A lot of albums came up
for real,
on the low. Yeah, you know.
Yo, speaking of favorite tracks from that album, I think Winds of the Father and Jazz and the Projects, those last two tracks, so dope.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
That joint that he got with Chuck D too. That's just fire too. Courtesy call.
Yeah, I think that's
he rapping hard. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people misconcept about him is like he's like a mafioso type rapper. He's very like complex with his bars. Like you're not gonna really get it at first because like he comes from that, you know, that Jay-Z, Nas like era where they was, you know, fitting like how many entendres and their metaphors and their raps where you gotta break it down, like you gotta listen to it like here, and there. Like it's just a lot. Like I had to listen to this album at least like 10 times to really understand what he was saying. But yeah, it's just fire.
Word. And it's available now on DSPs. I believe it's on Bandcamp too, if I'm not mistaken. But you can see the album art. We have it on the screen right now. So go check out "Keep Me Company" by Skyzoo. All right, so the mic is back to me. I mean, I already had the mic, right? But I mean, in terms of my number 9, right? We going down the list. So my number 9 favorite hip hop album of the year goes to Lupe Fiasco Samurai. That is a dope project.
I didn't put that on my top. You know what? I really had top 20. It was like 10 hours I had to put off on the shelf, but it was really top 20 for me. But I had to narrow it down because I don't want to look like that.
10 is tough. 10 is tough.
Yeah, it is tough. But yeah, that album was fun.
Yeah, so Samurai came out back in June of this year. I have to admit, in listening to Lupe, he's a very dense MC to listen to. It takes a lot to get the full gist of what he's saying lyrically. And this is a project that I took the time to really not just listen, just, you know, haphazardly, but listen like directly, like listen really carefully to all of the lyrics. I had to use genius.com a few times to read the lyrics and decipher and stuff. So it is definitely an experience. But just sonically, I think even if you're not tuning in like in depth lyrically, you could really enjoy this album. But yeah, man, he really pushed the bar lyrically with this one. I consider Lupe to be an abstract MC, but his music, the overall sound of his music is so easy on the air that it's easy not to like pay attention to the lyrics and still feel like, oh, I'm vibing to this, right? Or I'm really enjoying this. So I think this album hits those two areas really well. It hits the lyricism pretty well as the vibe and the overall sound that you could just easily listen to in terms of the sonic of the album, the sonic. So yeah, man, shout out to Lupe Fiasco for releasing Samurai. That's my number 9. In fact, let me put it up on the screen. I forgot to put that up. See, I'm doing a bunch of stuff. There you go. There it is. There goes the album art. Lupe Fiasco Samurai. All right. So how'd you guys feel about this project? Samurai.
I loved it. I loved it. It's on my list as well too.
Dope.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go to number 9 for A level. Let us know what it is, brother. Let us know what it
I
is,
got
Wiz.
I got Muddy Waters 2 coming in at number 9. And Redman.
Oh my goodness. Now that's the fourth quarter
And
release,
that's the
right?
only reason
That
why
one.
it's at number 9. It probably would have gotten a little bit higher, but it just came very, 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 very late fourth quarter. And it's 32 songs, 32 tracks. You know, it's a lot.
Okay.
It's a
Wait,
lot.
hold on.
The first
It's a
track
lot.
don't
Hold
really
on,
count
wait.
because it
Time
goes so
out,
fast.
time out. That hold on.
Here we go.
Did you put him on the album because you love Redman, or was it really, really fire?
Well, listen. I put it on there because of, I'm going to tell you right now, my son. I'm going to tell you.
Because come on, it's me. You know you gotta break it down. It's me. Come on, it's me.
Well, for me, like I said, it probably would have been high. I'm not one of those, man. I'm hard on my guys, man. I'm hard on people that I love. I'll tell you, if it's whack, it's whack, yo. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like this is a real dope album, but it didn't have to be 32 songs. You know what I'm saying? I think some of this stuff is really overkill, but especially with the skits and stuff like that. But what I really got into was Dynamite. Dynamite is dope.
Hard.
Dynamite is
Sheik
very
was on that,
hard.
right?
Yeah. Probably the toughest track on the
Sheik-
album.
Sheik caught one, yeah.
The Redman and Method Man, La 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 La, is crazy.
I feel like I heard that before. Like
A
back then.
is crazy.
A's hard, yeah.
You got surprisingly enough, I was underwhelmed by the posse cut. Light It Up was
Yeah.
that was very underwhelming, bro. To have so many people from Jersey on that joint, you know, I'm like, you know. I was underwhelmed by Superman Lover. The Superman Lover series is sacred, man. Come on. But what else did I like on there? I like Ignorant.
Ignorant was hard.
Yeah.
Definitely gripped onto the boom bap aesthetic, you know.
Yeah. And Wave.
Yo.
But surprisingly enough, a lot of the features, with the exception of Redman and Chic, he had more solo joints that was dope, you know. Pop the Trunk was dope.
Yeah, you know, A level. When this album dropped, I was really curious to hear what you thought about this project. And I know it just dropped like what, not even a whole week now, you know. So I'm so happy to hear that this made your list, because overall the consensus that I'm hearing about this album is that it was done really well. I don't know if people are saying it's actually better than Muddy Waters, the original one. I don't think I've heard anyone say that, but it's kind of like in the vein of like Only Built for Cuban Links 2, right? Like it delivered that feeling that you wanted to get from a Redman album, particularly in the Muddy Waters theme. You know,
I'm real funny about dropping albums that have lots of tracks on there and lots of material and content, because sometimes you can't see the forest from the trees after a while, and some things you can tend to lose, you know, because it's so much music to sit in one time. You know what I mean? I think you should have just kind of broke this piece into Muddy Waters 2A and 2B. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The interesting thing, even though and I gotta listen to it more. I've been listening to it a few times now, but I gotta listen to it more. And honestly, what I've heard so far, I like. I think one of the things he really does with this album is he keeps your attention. I don't feel like I'm snoozing out after a few tracks. Like it just keeps going. So even though it's 32 tracks, it keeps flowing, right? And you don't feel like, and I think there's little surprises to you, like, oh wow, that's a dope track. You know, you get those moments as you continue to listen through. So I think if you're gonna do an album with that much tracks, it has to be like that. And of course, the little skits are fun too because we kind of expect that from a Muddy Waters album, or a Redman album. So that's dope.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's
Oh, I'm
let's go
sorry.
to
I
the
like
next one.
look at here with
But
Redman and KRS. That was another dope one. Yeah.
dope. Yeah, he got a lot of dope
Yeah,
features on here
you
too,
got
man.
joints.
So that's really good.
I'm gonna take some time just a couple seconds to harp on the album because I didn't put it in on my list just because I couldn't digest it all really. It was just
Yeah.
just to even get through the listens and then really figure out like how I felt about it. But Redman, I mean, you can't say enough about his charisma, his ability to write songs, like his conceptualism is insane. Like, he got the 90s, he had one song about like being a 90s kid, a 90s boom bapper. Then Dynamite was like the 70s, and just even the hook, you just want to say it over and over again. He has a song called "You Don't Want to See Me Rich," which is just hysterical. It's just like everything he would do if he was rich. I'm on that BS. I'm on that bull. Like he's talking about like stuff that like happens every day, and he's like, "Yo, that's that BS." It's just and like you also like the charismatic thing about Redman is he speaks to you as a person who has faults. He's like a superhero who has faults.
Right.
So it's just the Superman lover type stuff. Like he couldn't, his Superman suit was in the dry cleaners, all this stuff. It's like, and back at the time when his heyday in the 90s, you had to be the pimp, the drug dealer, the superstar, the hustler, the fly guy, all that stuff. And he was he separated himself so much from those ideals and just being him. And I think every artist should embrace just who they are, flaws and all. And that's just the great thing about him and his artistry. So shout out to Redman, just WKYA. It's like it's just all this stuff. It's just like, where you come up with
we
this
be
stuff?
kicking your ass.
Yeah, so I'm saying like, Red is just that dude. So I'm happy he came out. I'm happy he gave Jersey, something to stand up for and celebrate. So shout out to Red. Anyway, my number 9 is dude I'm just like learning about as of I guess mid last year. Cavalier is I guess it says Cavalier and Child Actor. So I don't know if Child Actor is a producer or whatever. Cril, you may have some more to add. Cavalier, basically a dude from Brooklyn who grew up like during like the low life era, and is just such a breath of fresh air, just a really like refreshing voice in hip hop. He speaks like he makes all these references to old school Brooklyn and old school New York, but does it in such a like a just clear, concise, and different way. And in the past, hooking up with Quelly Chris, excuse me. He got songs with Elucid, just amazing songs. Probably my favorite song is "That's It." Like just the way he says it, and that's the way that the song is spelled. "That's it." It's just and I guess just I like that New York culture is still celebrated in a fresh way. It's not dated. It's not, it's not washed or whatever. Just keeping that current. I don't even know if he lives in New York. The last time I think I heard an interview, he was living in New Orleans. But shout out to Cavalier. He's just a dope voice. Raps insane, crazy, and so casual with it, so conversational that you can really just like. You can really connect with what he's saying, and the production is nuts. Production is so like twisted and distorted. The samples are so grimy and nasty, and drums are nuts. I was really happy with this project and looking forward to hear more from him. So that's Cavalier and Child Actor Cine. So number 9.
Yeah, I don't even know how you pronounce it. I say scene or CINE, whatever. But yeah, shout out to Cavalier, man. I'm really glad you put that on your list. He actually released another album this year, but to me they're both really good. And shout out to Child Actor, who was involved with this project as well. I'm pretty sure he did the production, I believe. So yeah, man, Cavalier has been doing this thing for a long time. I think you might have mentioned this. I'm not sure if you mentioned this, Mark, but he works frequently with Quelly Chris, and I had heard about him. He's actually from Brooklyn, but I think he's moved around a bit. And I mean, he's a unique artist. Like, I think what really stands out about him is definitely the production, but his way of how he delivers his rhymes, his style, his unique presentation, all of that helps to make up the dopeness of him as an MC, and as an artist, So it's really hard to describe him, but I would say it's like a mixture between like conscious, abstract, and soulful. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I get. And his music is again kind of like Lupe. You gotta tune in really closely to really gather what he's saying lyrically, but the soundscapes, the production, it just makes it easy to love the music. And yeah, I like it. Think about like Mad Lib too, in terms of how Mad Lib's vibe is. Like, in terms of production, man, he's really good at selecting some really dope producers and production to display on his album. So yeah, big ups to Cavalier and Child Actor for putting out that Scene album or Cine album. Word up, man. Go check that out. So Collegiate, back to
Yo,
you, man. What's
what
your
what
ninth
is this like
favorite
8? Was this
album?
8?
Nah, we ain't even get
Oh,
to
so,
8 yet. I
okay,
guess we gotta speed this
okay.
up.
Damn. Okay,
Number
I'm
9.
gonna say, and it's like this one right here is like I feel like it's real. It was real exciting for me because like I'm a big fan of this thing. I'm a big fan of this dude. So I'm gonna say Freddie Gibbs. You Only Die Once. And the way he dropped this like album, it was like out of the blue. Like Freddie Gibbs,
Yeah.
he's very like spontaneous, like with his drops. Like he just like boom, 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 boom. He dropped like, you feel me? So yeah, You Only Die Once. The whole album is fire from start to back. You can really, that's a straight through. And
Yeah.
I know we love straight throughs. We can play it straight through. I know. You know what I'm saying? Out the box, I know. We don't like no like, half ass and whatever. So yeah. This is gonna be something that everybody's gonna like though. I suggest everybody that hasn't tuned in to this album for sure. Yeah.
Shout out to Freddie
Yeah.
Gibbs, man. I didn't even know this album was coming out. I actually found out about it. Usually I know about it like the day it comes out or before it comes out. I found out about this album a few days later. Yeah, man, he's been pretty consistent, lyrically and also very much with the production. So yeah, big ups to Freddie Gibbs on this release. I'm a big fan of like the Mad Lib projects he does. I forget the name of their group together, but they've done a number of projects so
Yeah,
far
and
already. Yeah.
he was very different with the beat selection on this album too. Like he hasn't really rapped on nothing like this before. Like there's a track on here like called Origami where that beat is like I don't even know. That did something to me as soon as I like openers, like how you open up the beat and how it rides. Wow, he's and his flows is crazy. Like I feel like he's the best mechanical rapper, like in terms of like flows and pockets that he can get into. He's very, 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 very nice.
He
Very,
catches
very
many
nice.
vibes, yeah.
Yeah.
I said Jacob Alamo said Mad Gibbs.
Yeah, Matt Gibbs, yeah.
Mad Gibbs, yeah.
That was
I
kind
was
that was,
thanks
I
for
ain't gonna lie, that
sharing.
was kind of obvious though.
I know, right? That's easy to remember, right? Mad Lib and Gibbs. I don't know why I forgot. But yeah, man. So yeah, that's what's up, man. Shout out to Freddie Gibbs. I'm getting old, man.
Yo,
You know what I'm
we all are,
saying?
brother. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the young boy told me that was obvious. You know, I'm
I forgot it too. I forgot it too, so I'm not knocking you. I forgot it too. I'm not even gonna lie, but
nah, it's all
yeah,
good.
Nah, it was just funny. It was funny that that was the actual one.
I know, right? Yeah, yeah, that's what's up. So, let's keep it moving. So, coming back to me, number 8. So, I would say my favorite, my 8th favorite hip hop album of 2024 is from an artist that we mentioned earlier, and that goes to Skyzoo and the other guys, Mind of a Saint Deluxe. Now, I know this is not like a brand new album, but because it's 7 new tracks,
nice. Now you got
you
me
know,
looking crazy because I didn't add it to my list. See, like, see, that's crazy though. I see
Was
why you
that?
put it on there though. I see why you put it on there though.
let me let me put it up real
Yeah,
quick actually on the screen. But because it's 7 new tracks, right? And those tracks are kind of long as well. That's why I included this, you know. So the Mind of a Saint Deluxe Edition, that's what the album cover looks like. The cover art is slightly different. I mean, it's the same cover art, but they did a little, I think they put like a black border on it. So they make it a little different, but I selected this as my 8th favorite because, and it's so crazy. I think I like this a little bit better than the Skyzoo album. What's it called?
company.
Keep me
Yeah,
company. Yeah. So I like this a little bit better, but again, that might change. I may have to listen to Keep Me Company a few more times, but there's just something about his storytelling I always appreciate from Sky, like when he goes in as a storyteller. And for those that don't know, the Mind of a Saint is pretty much um the going with the theme of the Snowfall TV series, where he's pretty much playing the character, the main character in rhyme form on the album. So yo, I didn't even watch Snowfall like that, and I caught myself binge watching Snowfall just to get in alignment with what he was talking about on this album. And yo, Snowfall is just way too long. I got to probably like maybe the second or third season, and I had to chill. But you know, shout out to Sky Zoo for actually taking a concept of a TV, like taking a TV series and making an album based on that concept. You know, so that's I know it's not a full new album for the year, but because it's 7 new tracks and the tracks are actually a lot of them are pretty long, that's why I added it as my 8th favorite album of the year. So go ahead, A level, your turn, man.
So number
What's
8
your
for me is Skyzoo, Keep Me Company. You know,
wow?
yeah,
Sky Zoo is
yeah,
rolling
yeah, yeah.
in.
And that's big for me because I've been hearing what everybody been saying about Skyzoo for years, and I've been kind of looking at him sideways, like, I don't really hear what everybody else is hearing. I mean, the kid is dope and everything. I hear his music, but nothing really that I want to go and buy your album. I need to listen to you. It's keeping me up at night. I want to go listen to your stuff, but this kid is undeniable, man. I mean, when we talk about best beat pickers, him, Freddie Gibbs, and this guy, I forgot his name, but some of the best beat pickers in the game are those
Rick
two.
Ross.
Rick Ross, the best beat pickers in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're never going to be disappointed with the kind of music that they choose to rap over. Is this album right here is like a straight play. Like, you could listen to this all the way through. And the one thing I could definitely admire, or a few things I can admire about Skyzoo, is that he puts a lot of integrity in his project and how he puts the stuff together. Like Kyle was saying earlier, from his rhymes, his concepts, and to it's sounding really entertaining. I'm entertained by this, you know, it's something pleasant to hear, whether it's just something lyrically or musically. And I love when that perfect marriage is met, you know, and made, you know, when guys are able to accomplish that. And that's what he did that on. Like, and my favorite songs are pretty much the whole album. But my favorites are going to maybe about the last 4 or 5 songs. I love Record Store Day. It's a dope track. I love the fact that he used that song. It's like a love song, you know what I'm saying? But he meets a girl, meeting girls in the record store, you know what I'm saying? And how often do you ever really hear you actually really connecting or meeting, people that you're interested in romantically in a record store? You know what I'm saying? Because if you love your music is love, and you're meeting your love in the record store. And I thought that was a dope concept, for him to actually rap about dope love song concept. And the last song, definitely, as he mentioned before, Jazz in the Projects. That's my joint.
Yeah, man. Big ups, man. Yeah, so yeah, Kai, I still hear echo. I guess maybe it's not too loud, but I guess you could probably just mute it when you're not speaking, so that we don't hear each other back. But just mentioning that. But yeah, that Skyzoo is pretty dope, man. And I'm glad you're coming along, the Skyzoo, man. He's another artist too, where if you really, I think he's easier on the air, but it's still dense. Like you still gotta like listen and really pay attention. He's a writer.
I don't know. For me, it's all
really
about voices, and his voice never really jumped out at me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like he sounded more to me like a Jay-Z-ish kind of rapping. Like I've kind of heard that before. I've heard that flow before, but when you get past all of that and you're like, okay, this guy's still here, so let me just take another step. You know what I'm saying? And I've taken more steps with him. He always has this guy playing the trumpet. I don't know what his name is, but he uses him a lot, especially in this album.
Yeah. Shout out to the other guys who were the ones that produced the Mind of a Saint album. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think they have production on the Keep Me Company album. So yeah, I think when I listen to Skyzoo, I tend to hear his music is like it's like if Spike Lee's films were like rap albums, like the music of Spike Lee's films were rap albums. That's what Skyzoo's music.
Perfect analogy. Perfect analogy.
Yeah, and it's a cinematic experience, very soulful. It takes you back to, I mean, he's from Bed-Stuy, so like if you think of like movies like Crooklyn or even Do the Right Thing, like the soundscape, that soulful jazz soundscape that go along with a lot of Spike Lee's movies, he infuses that into his music, just doing it the hip hop way, So yeah, man. Shout out to Skyzoo. So, brother Mark, your turn, man. Number 8.
I gotta brush up on my Skyzoo, man. I didn't realize he dropped 2 joints, but that's me. So yeah, thank you, brothers, for putting me on. Number, I don't know, I guess we're 8, right? So this one for me was really fun listen. The title and the way it's spelled, Curious, the Magician with a J. Shout out to Curious. I don't know the background behind that, but I believe it was entirely executive produced by MF Doom, and it sounds like it is a fun listen for me, just because I love Curious. I mean, I think he's just like, when he's just like basically growing up listening to him, just thinking he's just a funny guy, very tongue-in-cheek, very New York, very gritty, and just to hear like his I guess his growth or just he's at now, really did not disappoint. The album is super dirty, super gritty, and it reminds me of like a MF Doom type production. I don't know who produced the tracks, but man, it's a whole entry. It's got a lot to pick and choose from. tons of like samples and just like was that just like kind of mashed up and put together and thrown together, and EQ'd kind of as well. Super loud record. He's got some like 80s throwback songs. I think one 1984, another one called I think it's Barry Gibb. He brought Mr. Fantastic out the fold for her, so he didn't disappoint either. Just Spirit of Doom lives on through that whole movement. Obviously Curious part of that as well too, and I'm just glad to see him like back in the fold again. I think he may have released like 1 or 2 albums over the past couple of years, but they didn't really catch me like this one did. But it was just like a really just pleasant listen, because that old dirty gritty sound, that New York sound. So shout out to Curious, the magician.
Yeah, big ups to Curious, man. And you're right, it was executive produced by the late great MF Doom. I'll second what you said, Mark. It does sound like MF Doom production, but it was I think it was Mono and Stereo who actually produced the album. But yeah, man, and it was actually released on Metal Face Records. So it has Doom's, Doom's essence all over it in terms of the executive producing and the sound and stuff like that. And Curious was pretty cool with Doom, for a long time. Yeah, man, I love this album, man. It's one of those albums that I have to say I did not give it. I think it was at the top of my list for the month that it came out, when I do like my best hip hop albums every month for Out the Box. But I didn't really give it. It was dope. Like, it's a really dope listen from beginning to end. I thought it was cool to have we got a Mr. Fantastic feature on the album. For those that MF Doom fans, about the mysterious Mr. Fantastic. Rap Stitches Knishes. That brother, you never get this. You don't know what he looks like. He's kind of like Doom,
crazy.
But. Yeah, so it was cool to get a new verse from him on there. It's like, yo, we got Mr. Fantastic on here.
I always envision he looks like
yeah.
I always envision he looks like Sarang, the Gun Clapper #1. Oh
really?
He sounds like him, but just crazy. It's just wild.
Sounds like it. Yeah. Shout out to Curious, man. Yeah, man, Curious. It's really dope to see him. He's another like veteran in the game that
he's that CM Famalam team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly, man. Like, yo, Mono and Stereo too. Like, I'm gonna pay more attention. He's done a lot of work with Homeboy Sandman, and his production. I've been paying attention to him since the Homeboy Sandman releases. But this album put him on another level, man. So I'm gonna be looking out for much more new music from him, man. He has a pocket production wise that's worth checking for, Yeah. So back to collegiate, man. Your number 8 favorite hip hop album of the year.
This is actually like this is my last one. I have to cut it short because I gotta go out. But so this is my last one, and I'm gonna end it off. Tyler, the Creator, Chromacopia. Yeah, it's like I'm a big Tyler, the Creator fan, man. Just like he's a major influence on me. Like, it's in terms of like artistry and like where you could take it. You know what I'm saying? Because he was hated by not hated, but he was misjudged by a lot of people throughout his career because he was just he was so like he was like a renegade like early on, like he was going against the grain with mad of his albums, but as like he got older, people just had to accept it. Like, I can't find nobody to compare him to, but I'm pretty sure there's artists like him. But yeah, that's this album like from start to finish. Yeah, this one was official for sure.
Word up, Tyler the Creator, man. I mean, that Camp Flognor concert, man, that was amazing, man. Like he's a very, like, you could see that he really cares about the art form, and I love how he bridges the gap. Like he doesn't forget the roots. Like, you know, like he did a tribute, you know, in the Camp Flognaw concert this year. He did a tribute, you know, for MF Doom. You know, that was a real dope tribute. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see that, but you know, artists like Erykah Badu and, you know, Andre 3000, like they all were involved in his you know, annual Camp Flognaw, you know, concert. And every time I hear him rhyme, man, like he's always animated, really lyrically gifted, man. So thanks for you know, sharing that, Collegiate. So yeah, I mean, I know you gotta be out, Collegiate, but I know you sent some more. You want me to go through that? Like I'll run through that before the end of the show, like when we all get to that
Yes,
number one.
please. I appreciate that.
Looking Kai.
I don't know what the order is.
Yeah.
Let me see. Did you put it in the order?
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah.
I'll run through it. Okay, it was in the
Mhm.
order. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna go through the rest of the projects that you put. So you did it in order from
Yeah,
one to
from one to
nine, right?
from 1 to 9. Yep.
1 to 10. Yeah, right. So I got you. I'm gonna do that once we get through our number one, and I'll share the rest of your selections, man. So thank you for joining, man. I
Peace,
I
appreciate
appreciate
it.
it. Thank you for having
coming
me
through,
finally. I
man.
appreciate. All right.
Peace
Yeah, man, we
out.
got it again, bro.
Right. Peace, family. Word.
You already know what it is.
Yes, sir.
Have a good night, man.
Much respect. We catch you on the next one. All right, so we still here. So it's just three of us, so that means we'll probably go a little bit faster. I'm gonna go with my number 7
Or since we're
favorite
older.
hip hop album.
Right.
Kai will
Right.
probably keeping us on time.
Word.
Yep.
So yeah, but shout out to Collegiate for being involved, man.
Yo, Wiz, good
really,
job, man. Well done, my friend. Well done, brother.
Yeah,
Thank you.
student of the
Thank you.
game.
Thank you. You
I can
know,
only dream
improving.
that my kids are.
I was just about to say that, man.
as
Good
one-
job. You know,
and as on it. I love it.
Thank you.
word.
I'm trying, man. It's not easy to stay in this.
Doing. Love it.
this
Each one,
right.
teach one.
Word. So yeah, man. So my number, what we at number 7, right? So my number 7 favorite hip hop album of 2024 goes to an artist out of Detroit. I've been telling you guys about him. And so this brother, I really, well, let me just say his name. Bruiser Wolf is the name. My Story Got Stories is the album. Let me pull that album, that cover art up as well. But he's from Detroit. He's part of the Bruiser Brigade crew with Danny Boy and a few other artists, a number of other artists. But Bruiser Wolf released this album, My Story Got Stories, earlier this year. I believe it was in January.
Wow.
And one of the reasons why I like this dude is because his voice is extremely unique. He's extremely funny. A lot of the rhymes is about, like, you know, it's like Coke bars and stuff, but he's hilarious, man. Like, he's very creative. There's a lot of punchlines and stuff. So I think aside from the subject matter, if you're just looking to listen to someone who's very creative lyrically, who has a lot of clever, funny things to say in his music, you know, and just dope delivery, I think he's that guy. You know what I mean? So it came out in January of this year, and when I heard it, I almost believed already that it was gonna make my top 10, and it actually did that. It actually survived my top 10. So yeah, man, shout out to Bruiser Wolf. My Story Got Stories, out of Detroit. I just think he's one of the most unique MCs out today, and very clever as a lyricist. So that's my number 7.
Wow. Thank you for the put on. That's
Yeah, check him
yeah,
out.
definitely. Listen,
In the library. Just put 'em in the
I'm
library,
you know,
man.
I sit with my music, man. So that's why I have
Yeah.
a short list. I have to take my time to listen to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sometimes people compare him to Sugar Free, Sugar Free, that artist Sugar Free. But I think even though you could hear some similarities, I think he does still have his own unique sound. So yeah, I think he definitely has his unique sound still. As you start to listen to him, you see that, he has his own lane as well. So yeah, check that out. His new album. So your turn, A
So
level.
I'm
What's
gonna
your
go into
number?
mine, but I'm gonna address the room real quick. Shout out to Jacob Alamo. He said Danny Brown and the Bruiser Brigade are hilarious.
Yeah, man.
You know.
Word.
And Patrick Sargent says, I miss the real hip hop culture. I'm an old head. Me too, man. But a lot of it's still dope. There's still a lot of dope stuff out there.
For
Also,
real. And shout out to TT
yeah,
Gaming, man. What up, TT? Thanks for
yes, yes,
joining.
yes,
I mean, you finally made it to the stream,
yes.
man. Big ups.
And
Yeah.
Patrick Sargent said, no, Kendrick is overrated.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, our list
Yeah, the
ain't done
album
yet.
is.
Our list ain't
Mm,
done yet,
mm,
Well, my list
mm.
ain't done yet,
Yeah, so my
Yeah.
album
Number
number
7.
7, Master Ace and Marco Polo, Richmond Hill.
Indeed.
Very,
Let me pull that
very
cover
dope album.
real quick.
Shout out to Master Ace and Marco Polo for putting together another masterpiece, start to finish, man. I mean, it's something about Marco's albums, and I know this because he used to be an engineer, before he got on as a producer. And I think that really brings a certain aspect and a quality to his sound. Everything is very well mixed. The snares and the kicks are popping, everything. When the track the album opens up to right after the skit, track called Brooklyn Heights. Amazing. Then we go into Certified with Coast Contra. West Coast Contra. West Coast Contra, they're like the new LONS. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I had to compare them to any group that I know about, like, they got that saying raps in unison. Hey, yeah, this is how we do it. Like that kind of stuff. Like, I miss that kind of stuff with groups that give you something more of a different presentation other than just this MC rhymes, then that MC rhymes, and then that MC rhymes. They give you a different listening experience. And I love the fact that they implemented Coast Contra on there. Hero featuring Inspector Deck. Wow, that's probably the standout track of the album, Inspector is just, the Rebel INS. He just does what he does. Another favorite of mine is Money Problems. Money Problems featuring Che Noir. And then there's Plant Based. And another one of my faves is All I Want featuring Wordsworth. Another album again that you could just play it all the way through. Straight player. Came out very early at the top of 2024.
Dope. Yeah, I think it did it come out in January too?
January 26th.
Okay, yeah. I'm so glad you put that album on the list. Because again, talking about veteran MCs, OG MCs, this is definitely one of them. Anytime Marco Polo and Master Ace come together, they always do a wonderful job. Like they're kind of like their collaboration is like what we see with Nas and Hit Boy, or what what I believe we're gonna see more with Common and Pete Rock, right?
Spoiler.
So it's always good when you find that good MC producer combo and you just keep, you don't if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? You just keep going with it. And I think this is another solid
Shout out to
project.
Jacob Alamo said the joint with Blue. Yeah, the joint with Blue is crazy too.
Dope. I got to go back and listen to that album because it came out so early in the year that I didn't get a chance to really go back a few times to listen to it. I guess that's the downside with me trying to listen to everything, right?
You gotta
know,
go
like
back.
I
You
miss
gotta go back, man. You know,
Like Idiot
that's why it's
Jones.
really hard to say what's the greatest and what's the best for the year, right? Because there's just so much good stuff out there, and you only get a chance to spend
Word
maybe
up.
about 2 or 3 days before the next album comes out.
Yeah,
You know,
try to catch up. Like even the past month, Freddie Gibbs. Like I'm just trying to catch
right?
on. I'm just
Dang,
trying to catch on to the Red joint, and I'm like,
I ain't even finished my meal yet.
it's
You know what I'm saying? I just
It's
finished.
full time job. You know, it's great. This is why we need this, so we can
Right.
come together. It's like, you know, putting
Indeed,
the Stretch
indeed.
and Bob show and little, you got this snippet, I got that snippet. put all your 90-minute
That's
masters
right.
and you got a full show.
That's what's so dope about hip hop, right? I remember it's like you get that 120-minute tape with Stretch Armstrong and Bob, and here, look at the new Elzai joint. You know, look what I got.
Right.
Look what I got. Look what I got.
Right.
And then you share that, and you know, that's the best part
to
of
the
the music.
Yeah.
Word. No doubt. So go ahead, Mark. Tell us
All
your
right.
number
So
7.
here we so this is part of the list where it gets dicey because any of these albums could have been like number 1. And when I first heard the albums, I felt like they were number 1. And over the I guess couple of weeks, I've been just mixing and juggling, and it is what it is. So maybe at this point the order doesn't really matter. But I'm gonna put Liberal 2, Talib Kweli and Mad Lib. I remember texting y'all crazy when I first heard it, and it still plays so well. It's an amazing album. Man, Madlib, his diversity, his just ability to any type of, R&B, trap, gritty, underground, free jazz, fusion, anything you want. He's like doing jukebox and it's just amazing. I think part of it is he worked on his musicianship in playing instruments and did collaborating with Kareem Riggins. I guess it was last year maybe, and we just messing around and just learning how to play instruments and perfecting his musicianship. So many. I mean, I can't just pick one song, but just like like bangers, like anthems, like quotes. One for Biz. Y'all, everybody heard that. If you on the chat, if you listen, you have them. So many anthemic juice. And also too, just coming off the No Fear of Time, the Black album, it just kind of hit us, and we're just like, we didn't even know, Talib was like working on. I didn't know, just to feel that, and then also too, like it was so kind of like a breakout for him because most wasn't even on the album. So it was just Sean Cooney. Just Guapale's on it. Roy Ayers, that is so soulful, like just a masterpiece. So shout out to both those. I'm happy that they just keep staying consistent and putting out product. Liberation, Talib Kweli, and the Madlib.
Yeah, and I want to say, like, I don't mean to spoil it, but this album actually did come out in 2023 initially with the Luminary thing, but it did officially come out to streaming about a year later. So but yeah, it's a dope project. I actually have it on CD. I bought it from Nature Sounds near the end of last year because I wanted it. Like I didn't want to have to be subscribed to Luminary for that long, so but it's good that it finally got its release on DSPs this year. I think it was almost a year later it came to DSP.
My favorite joint off of there is Lupe Digger's Revenge featuring Guapale, man.
Guapale, yeah, love it. She's
Lupe Digger's Revenge is crazy.
Great voice. As soon as you hear like that's Guapale, like cool. I'm good. So.
I think my favorite joint on that album is Advice, featuring Diani. I think that's Kweli's daughter, Diani and Pink Sifu.
Okay. Mac Miller joint is crazy.
I love
To Love Us. Like the Mac Miller feature just came out of like nowhere, just like whoa, and he's really like putting in work. So sorry, Wiz.
Yeah,
Was
I
you
love
about
the
to say
fact that
or
no, I was saying that I love the fact that you got artists, MCs bringing their kids into the industry too, and they're doing tracks with them. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of this LeBron James Bronny thing going on, man. You know what I'm saying? Um,
yeah.
this guy Robert Glasper is doing that with his son. You know?
Off of Leo
Yeah. I
Wiley.
just I just saw something like that. I didn't even know his son was doing
Yeah,
music.
off
It's
the cold
interesting.
derivation, man. You know what I'm saying? That's another guy that's
Dope.
been busy, man.
Gotta check. Yeah. So yeah, man. Thanks for sharing that Liberation too. I actually had the album art up for that one, Mark. So yeah, shout out to Talib Kweli and Madlib. All right, so we're gonna keep it going. So we're at number 6 now. So my number 6 favorite hip hop album of 2024 goes to MC Lyte, One of One. I really enjoyed that album. It was just so dope to get a project from her. I honestly, and I did a review for this album on
Mhm.
the Out the Box
I
Media
remember.
YouTube channel. But I wasn't expecting that. That like this album kind of surprised me. I didn't know that it was gonna be this good. And I mean, I might be, I might not be in the popular with this selection, but I really enjoyed this album, man. I felt like from beginning to end, there's no skippable tracks for me. Like it's just a pretty strong upbeat vibe. It's positive. It to me, it's the way a OG's album should sound like. When they say like, like I'm not a fan of MCs, like elder MCs, like trying to come down to the level of the young cats, right? Like I like when they do the music that resonates with their maturity. You know what I'm saying? And I think she did that really well. She still got it lyrically. The production on this album is amazing. Like who she decided to work with producer wise, they really contributed um really amazingly to this album, man. So shout out to MC Lyte, man. It's pretty upbeat, soulful, and just good vibes and also thought provoking. It gives you a reflection of kind of where she is at this
Mhm.
particular stage of her career, or in her life. So really dope project, man. One of One by MC Lyte. You know what I'm saying? So that's my number 7, A level.
Sir.
Your turn.
I'm gonna go number 6. Rock and Alchemist, the Skeleton Key.
Oh, 6 on my bad. It's number 6. Yeah, you're right. Say it again. I'm
Rock
sorry.
and Alchemist, the Skeleton Key.
Oh, nice.
Favorite track on the album is Cryotherapy.
Coming up with some titles, man.
Tell me why you like that track.
It's why we like Roc Marciano, right? This combination is you want to talk about game changers like Roc Marciano and Alchemist, like Alchemist bringing a certain style of production with this boneless beats kind of style that everybody's emulating right now, right? Just finding the rare obscure loops and just no drums, just loop it and just go and just rhyme to it. And here you have Roc Marciano, who at times in terms of how he rhymes can be dense at times, but he has this kind of slangology that nobody does it the way he does it. Like you can see your Griseldas and stuff like that that have gone on to emulate both of these guys' styles and sounds. And on Cryotherapy, man, it's like I get that Horde 90 feel. You know what I'm saying on that
Mm,
when I listen to Cryotherapy.
no doubt. I think Alchemist and Rock is a really good combination, really dope
Yeah.
pairing. It's so funny because
That's a
their beats are similar, but then I think each of them have their own pocket that makes them unique. So whenever they collaborate,
That
it's always
particular
dope.
track has very. I judge a track by nod factor. You know what I'm saying? Like it has supreme nod factor in that track. You know, just how it's looping, what it does.
No doubt. And Roc released another album earlier this year too, man. So it's good to get two solid projects from him, man. Usually I think we only get one a year from him. So yeah, man. Cass was in their bag this year. We got a few artists that release at least two projects this year. So Cavalier, Skyzoo, Roc Marciano. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man. So that's dope.
It definitely competition is thick. Yeah, I didn't have Roc on the album. I mean, on the list. Skeleton Key was on my list. I forget why. Maybe because we're sure. I'm not sure. But as soon as I heard it, it was one of his albums. He's like, you see it pop, and you like, oh my God, is this real? And you don't want to hype it up too much. This album definitely lived up to expectations. Yeah, it's just Alchemist. Just, I mean, it's just like some like type of internal or something where he gets it. He gets what the artists are trying to rhythmically, sonically. He's always got the right. Just, I mean, I guess his skills. He just has an inner library of sounds that just knows what fits. And you know, I think the chemistry just comes from the fact that Rocco too, aside from being a great lyricist,
he's a
is
great
also
beat
producer.
maker.
So yeah,
Right.
they kind of get each other. And the fun thing about Roc is like he definitely is, but it's like this comedy. There really so much comedy involved. It's that whole like that pimp thing. Like it's just like he'll tell a story and just throw a little interesting little kind of funny anecdote or whatever. So he's able to really balance like the density of his rhymes, which is humor. So shout out to them, man. I could have had them on the list too. So I'm gonna go left. I think with my neck. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say another one of my favorite tracks. The last two tracks is Make Sure. Make Sure is another one. You know.
Yo, Jacob Alamo shouted out the Alchemist and Yasin Bey album that's supposed to drop in 2025. I don't know if y'all saw that. I saw that online. I think it was today or yesterday. Yeah.
That's huge.
So Alchemist is staying focused, man, staying busy, you know. Yeah. And we still waiting for that official money Christmas, right?
I know, right? Yeah, that's why I'm like, all right.
Where's my $10? I pay my $10. Where's my money? Where's my money Christmas, Yasin?
Yo, the video stream is dope though. I listened to it. It's pretty good. You know,
my record.
Santa Fraud.
I pay for my record. I want my record. You know, give me my record, bro.
It's so crazy though, like for a project like that to get pushed back. Like, yo, Christmas is over. Like, what are you gonna do? What
you gonna rename?
Like,
we're listening to Money Christmas in June. You know what I'm saying?
Money Valentine's Day.
Yeah, man. So I don't know. Hopefully we get it before New Year's. You know what I mean? Because I think after New Year's, like it's not festive no more.
Just put it on Apple Music and be done with it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
For real.
Yeah.
But the video stream is dope. I got a chance to listen to it on Christmas Day, and I listened to it. I think the day after as well. Really dope video stream. If those are the tracks that's gonna go on the project, the audio version, then I think it's pretty dope, man. I think it's, you know, it's like a combination of like, you know, some beats you've heard before and then new beats and new. It's a nice mixture, man. I actually really like it. So yeah, shout out Jacob for shouting that out, man, and big ups to you for, you know, participating in the chat and on the stream, man. All right, so all right, so where we at? We at number
6,
right? Yeah. So go ahead, Mark. Did you give your number 6 already, or it's your turn?
6. I'm gonna go a little left on 6 with my guy Smino from I believe St. Louis. Smino put out an album called Maybe in Nirvana. Smino's just always been sort of to me that sort of hero, and really just like an artistic switchblade with music. I mean, you could kind of put this album in R&B, but dude raps. He really raps. And I mean, I hate to compare things, but just maybe the many people who may be listening haven't heard Smino before, but definitely I guess at least an artistic genre, an aesthetic lineage to Dungeon Family, Outkast, Goody Mob, just good old like Southern funk, but also infusing it with rap. Sing raps. The thing that I really like about this album is it's not even 30 minutes, it's like 29 minutes, but it just builds. And it's it's one of those albums, it seems like it's a lot longer than it really is because there's so much substance, and you don't really skip any. I don't skip any songs on it. Went in a different direction too with a couple songs, but put a song that had like a really just like a dance hall kind of vibe to it, or whatever vibe called I think called Tequan, with Raven Lene, who's also dope. Probably my favorite song. He has a song with Bun B, UGK. The song is called Miss Joyce. And then the last two songs are just kind of in between hip hop, R&B, really fun, vibey songs. The melodies are crazy. They're infectious. Like once you hear them, they're very memorable. They don't, a lot of, I feel like a lot of R&B, a lot of just music in general can be forgetful. There's no backbone to it. The hooks are really just well developed. Songs are well written, and that sounds crazy. The bottom on this album is just ridiculous. Like some songs hit frequencies where you're just like yes, this is only meant like the car, really pleasing album. Well produced, well mixed. Just Smino, just super dopeness. Trust me, you'll hear a lot more from him in the future. A lot more artists will gravitate towards him because he can do everything. You see what happened to Anderson .Paak or Doechii or whatever, like just can do everything. So they're gonna be relevant. So, definitely look out for this dude. Yeah, I mean he's been around for a while. Last I think was called Love for Rent. That was great. Couple of like shorter albums also in singles. So taking my time discussing him because he's a dude who I think will continue to make a lot of his, and I'm really happy with this album. So Smino, maybe in Nirvana, number 6.
Word.
Number 6.
I saw, it's so interesting. I heard of his name. I saw his name and I saw the album art, but I didn't really pay too much attention to it. So I'm gonna definitely check it out. It looked like it just came out in this month, earlier this month.
Yeah, it did, which is for me because usually I let those albums right past me, with this one stuff. So
the fourth quarter.
Actually,
stuff.
I think number 5. I think we're number 5. So Smino, shout out.
Yeah. So no, we're actually on 6. So we just finished with the last of 6, but I'm gonna go to 5 now. Nah, you good. So we're gonna keep it moving. So thank you for sharing that. I'm gonna definitely check out that album. Yeah, that's why I love doing this, man, because I know somebody's gonna drop an album that I haven't really checked for yet. So moving right along, number 5, we're halfway through. I appreciate y'all staying. If anybody has to leave, I totally get it, but I'm gonna try to get through these last 5 really quickly for time reasons. But number 5 for me is Kendrick Lamar, GNX. So I know somebody had mentioned no Kendrick earlier, but definitely Kendrick is on my list. I really like this album. On first listen, it didn't really hit me right away, but second listen and listens after that, I really like it. Like I cannot ignore this man's brilliance. I mean, he probably had the best year as for any hip hop artist out today, but with the Drake and Kendrick back and forth, which to me unanimously, came out victorious in that one. But he also delivered with this album. I really like it. He captures my attention from the first track all the way down. Yeah, let me actually put up the album artwork for Kendrick Lamar GNX. And I think this is just a taste, right, of what's to come. I could see Kendrick dropping another album early next year, possibly. I don't know when he's gonna drop, but I could see some more stuff coming, especially, after the big Super Bowl performance that we're looking forward to from him. So here goes the album art, GNX by Kendrick Lamar. So yeah, that's my number 5. You know what I mean? A level. You're next, man. What's your number 5?
Coming in at number 5, we got the late, great Brooklyn, Brownsville Kai, Thief Next to Jesus. Oh man,
Let's go.
what a final act. You know what I'm saying? On such a really illustrious, dope career. What a way to go out. He left nothing on the table. When you hear joints like, my favorite joints is Tested Testimony and Borrowed Time. Wow. You know what I mean? Like, is he another guy that made his own beats as well too?
He did make his own beats, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, like him and Roc and Alchemist, they all like cut from the same cloth. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can hear it,
Yeah, definitely.
And I know, for you, Cril, I mean, this is real. No, it's really, really, really tough. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah. This is a sentimental, like yo, I'm gonna be honest, man, like, and obviously this album is on my list, but I guess I'll reserve my talks about this when I do bring it up, but on my list. But I'll say this, man, like, losing Kai this year is like a piece of hip hop died. I ain't even gonna front. Like, this, like, sometimes I just sit back and I think, and I'm just like, damn, yo, like, I just feel sad sometimes just thinking about him leaving out. I did not expect The Thief Next to Jesus to be his last album. It's crazy, Yeah, man. Jacob Alamo.
Yeah.
He said
I'll trade every album that came out this year for one more Kai album.
That's what's up. That's it, man.
It's wild, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I learned a lot about Kai just, through you, Cril. Like, I went back to that joint with Jizza, you know what I'm saying? That what was that? Firehouse joint?
Oh yeah, from the Jizza album, man.
Yeah.
Such a dope record. Yeah, man. Rest in peace to the late great Brownsville Kai, man. Thank you so much for everything, man. Your contribution, man. Like, I'll never forget, what you offered to music and just the type of person he was, man. Because I knew him, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I wasn't like closest of friends with him and stuff, but his transition really hurt because he knew me, I knew him. We communicated a number of times, man, and just a really humble, respectful dude, you know what I'm saying? Always show love, Yeah, I did a tribute show for Kai. If you guys haven't gotten a chance to check it out, it's on the channel, so you could go back and check it out when you get a chance. Yeah, man. So yeah, The Thief Next to Jesus, really dope project, man. Just from the standpoint of just the music, it's not. I don't even know what more to say, man. Like Kai was one of a kind. Like, you'll never get another Kai. You know what I'm saying? In terms of what he offered as a lyricist, as an MC, as a poet, as a writer. You know what I mean? So he delivered once again with this album, and I think he went out really strong with the Thief Next to Jesus, man. You think about just even like the theme of the album, right? Like the title, and then how he goes, you know, then we lose him this year. It's just so much to unpack, you know, with his music. So yeah, thanks for selecting that A level. So that was you said that was number 5, right? For you?
Yeah, number 5.
Okay. Go ahead, Mark. You're number 5.
Yeah, man. You might as well keep that up, man. I'm gonna keep the praise and homage going for Kai. You're right, man. Very singular artist. Very uncompromising about his art. And I mean, you definitely. I mean, y'all were brother. There's no doubt about that. Not if y'all spoke once, just the interactions that y'all had, the way y'all showed love. You know, I mean, it can't go unnoticed, and that definitely has to be just cherished and loved. And you know, it was tough to hear about him passing and stuff. And you know, I definitely am victim of the sort of not really knowing a lot about him until he actually passed. And I mean, that's my bad, of course, but you know, we're not always ready to really receive art or receive music, you know, at the time that it's put out. And Kai was definitely one of those guys where it's just like you had to sit with it. You couldn't just skip through track, listen, put him in the shuffle, and you know, he's not up in your algorithm on the day-to-day through whatever games you like to listen to. And that what made him so special. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't want that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's just a real genuine dude. Just a one of a kind, and like just a really just artist amongst artists. You know, everybody's sort of faith. And I think in the way that he lived too, very, very enviable, you know what I'm saying, and very, very noble. Not willing to compromise or anything, not going out chasing the buck and standing for something. And literally, I remember, like, you know, listening to this interview and hearing that you just like, if I had like 1 or 2 people just listen to you know, and like, you know, appreciate what I do, all I really need. And he honest, like that really was how he felt. Like he wasn't, if there was no other, he just wanted to connect. And really, I've said this a few times on different shows, but like that's really what artists really want to do, is connect. Of course, the money, the logistics, the whatever, the theme, whatever, all that stuff kind of clouds. But if you're a real artist, that's what you want to do. You want to connect with people. And he just did it in such an effective way. And if you met him before, now you have his entirety of work to just go back on, and it I mean, his catalog is the weighs heavier than many people's catalogs put together, just because he said so much. And if you don't know anything about him, just go and listen to him. So yeah, I have work to do, a lot of homework to do in terms of catching up on him, but I was definitely able to like sit and listen to Thief Next to Jesus. So yeah, got him up there at 5. So
Indeed. Yeah, man. So thank you for sharing that too, Mark, man. So yeah, let's keep it moving. Number 4. So yeah, I'm at number 4. So my number 4 favorite, I don't know if this is an album. It's like 26 minutes. I know it's usually considered an album if it's 30 minutes or more. So I guess you could call it an EP album or whatever. But this, my number 4 goes to Casual of the Hieroglyphics crew.
Wow. Casual got to join out.
Yeah, it's called Fights Over Egypt. And
Oh man,
yes, the joy is crazy. That's on Bandcamp. Yeah,
it's exclusively on Bandcamp. I love
so
this
nasty.
album.
He's
project.
still ill though. Man.
Fights Over Egypt.
Yeah,
it's the Jones joint. Yeah, he's crazy. Yeah.
Oh man.
I love this album because if you into like the conscious, was it conscious culture or whatever?
Casual always been ill to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited. I'm gonna go check that joint out,
Yeah,
man.
he taps into like he does a lot of like for those that don't know, like Casual is like a student, like he's very knowledgeable about ancient Egypt and the Kemetic history and stuff like that, and he also knows how to speak the Medu Neter, which is pretty much the hieroglyphics. So he taps into a lot of the information, like the historical, timeline of ancient Kemet and ancient Egypt, and he even uses some of the hieroglyphics, like the actual Medu Neter or the hieroglyphics in his music. And me being a student of the ancient Kemetic history and stuff like that, I just enjoy this album, man. There's a lot of tracks on here with like beats that you've heard before, but it feels good. The record feels good. It's like I said, it's about 26 minutes, but it flows, and he's just going at it lyrically, man. So shout out to Casual for Fights Over Egypt. It's currently exclusively on Bandcamp, so go check that out. All right, A level. Go ahead, man. You're number 4.
Good pick.
Number 4, Roc Marciano, Marciology.
All right, another Roc Marciano on the list. Let's get that up.
It's another joint. What's funny is my favorite joint on here happens to be Gold Crossbow. Wow.
That's what's up.
That's not even one of the ones that's the highlights. It typically highlights that they send you with the albums, but Gold Crossbow is mine. He just fits such a pocket, man, with that beat. You know what I mean? Like nobody can do it the way he does it.
Yo, Marciology, man. It's just the title alone. It's like you're getting some raw Roc Marci, lyricism on this, man. Yeah, man. Big ups to Roc Marci, man. Always consistent. Drops every year, and just stays in the pocket, man. Got a really sharp pen, man. Sharp pen, and it's been like that since he came in the game, and it hasn't stopped, So yeah, man. Big ups, Marciology. You know who's This is not if I'm not mistaken. This is not like a one producer album, right? Like this one has like multiple production, right?
Let's see. Get it.
Let me take a look at that real quick.
A lot of the songs are produced by him,
Okay. So that makes sense. He gave you a project with production by him earlier in the year, and then towards the end of the year, he comes out with the Alchemist produced album. So yeah.
Yeah, he got joints on there with Larry June.
Okay.
TF and Flea Lord, High Self,
Yeah. Got a few features on there. Jay Worthy, Knowledge the Pirate, yeah. All right. Big ups to Roc Marci, man. Always consistent.
Crazy.
All right, Mark, moving right along, man. Number 4. What's
All
your...
right, man. So we gonna go back over to the West Coast. My man, Schoolboy Q, Blue Lips. Yeah.
I think I have that one here.
Man, Schoolboy Q is just such a dope artist, dope person. Like, great story, complete evolved. You know what I'm saying? Like, the album is just it's the dynamics album are just crazy to me. Because you start off with just Funny Guy, which is like this silly little sample and stuff, and just kind of sound playful and sort of really just kind of nerdy a little bit, and then you get songs like Poppin', I mean, songs that like yearn, like I mean, he's just amazing, man. He goes from like just some of the songs like very beautiful and nostalgic and just like feel like there were like samples from the 20s, like just the most aggressive, like, oh my God, I think I should be listening to this right now. Um, but you know, I value him as an artist, man. I think he's just really a powerful voice, powerful perspective. Of course, you know, TDE is still run. Um, don't get it twisted. Dodie is a problem. Absol had a great one this year. Um, and Schoolboy's just, I mean, he really can rap. I mean, he just as simple as put. Favorite songs album, man. I could have picked from many, but with Freddie Gibbs, it's just all a vibe. They really did. It was just like they just locked in. It's one of those like breakdowns too, where the beat changes and just loses his mind on it. Yeah, man, I don't know what to say. Even the album cover is just nuts. Um, yeah, so Schoolboy Q, yeah, blues, um,
Dope.
great album.
Yo, I'm glad you mentioned that because that was one of Collegia's favorite albums of the year too. So luckily I had the cover queued up. So yeah, I actually did not listen to that album as much as I would have liked to. So thanks for
Definitely
sharing it
not for
Yeah.
because
everybody.
I'm
It's
gonna go
definitely not
back.
for everybody, but
No, no, no. I'm gonna definitely check that out,
yeah,
man. I
I'm gonna go
actually
back
came
and check it out.
across it. It was in my honorable mentions.
it's tough. The content is tough at times. It's just like it's kind of feel you kind of feel like as you know, I mean, I'm close to 50. Like, should I be listening to this? Like, it doesn't make sense. But I mean, that's not his fault. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's my problem. But I just really appreciate the artistry. I love albums that make me feel uncomfortable too. Like I really do like that. No, you know, just it just kind of rubs you the wrong way. At the end, you're like, all right, I want to listen to it again. Kind of thing. It evokes a lot of like just something in you. It just kind of pulls you. And it's done in such a great way. It's really put a lot of work in his album. It's just really touch. No pun
Dope,
intended, but for Tyler, but TDE project. So
dope, dope. All right, so I'm gonna keep it going. We're at number three. So my favorite hip hop album in the number three spot of 2024 goes to Rhapsody. Please don't cry. That is my number three. Let me pull it up real quick. Um, I honestly felt like for the majority of the year, this like the earlier part of the year, this was like my top album. Like nothing was beating this. And I really felt like this album should have gotten a Grammy nomination. I don't know why it didn't, but I think the rollout for this album was amazing. The production on this album is amazing. The features on here is amazing. Like I really feel like Rhapsody put a lot into this album. Um, I could see how much effort she put into this. And it stands out to me, man. I don't really it has really dope features on here. Like there's I think Erica Badu is on this album. Um, there's a lot. I gotta go back, but I really enjoyed this album, man. Like she really did her thing on this, man. Like this album also is it has an emotional factor to it. Maybe that's why I'm tapped into it so well because she gets really vulnerable on this album and she really just does her, man. She's like really true to herself. And that's one of the things I really appreciate about it. It has tracks for like all different occasions. You know, there's the feel good tracks, there's the rapidy rap tracks. But overall, it just sounds rich in production and it just seems like a real well put together album. So, you know, the ladies is doing their thing this year, man. I got MC Lyte and Rhapsody in my top 10 list. So
word.
they shining, man. So big ups to Rhapsody, man. Please don't cry. I really enjoy this album, man. So yeah, that's my number three, and we'll move to the next one, A level. As we count down, let us know your number three.
Number Trey. Lupe Fiasco, Samurai.
Oh, nice. So he made it all the way to 3 for you. That's dope.
All the way to 3. Because he moved through this album with the precision of a samurai. You know what I'm saying? Literally. You know, that's how it is, you know. Straight up. You know, lyrically, you know, the cleverness, like wordplay, and the music, you know, it's straight play all the way through. Eight songs, nothing more, nothing less. You know, I really enjoy listening to this.
Big ups, man. Lupe. It's dope to see him in the number 3 spot for you, A-Level.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Lupe Fiasco, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's a person that doesn't get sung enough in the hip hop community, man. Like, a lot of his projects since the Food and Liquor to Lasers, man, you know, I've always been a fan of Lupe Fiasco, so he never disappoints when he drops an album. So
nice. A-Level, I gotta give you props, man, because last year you didn't really have a long list, you know. And I'm curious to know this year he got a top 10 list, and he also told me about some honorable mentions he has. So
yeah.
I
wasn't really feeling hip hop honestly for the last 2-3 years. I've been kind of in a space where me and hip hop been,
right.
You know, like, but you know, starting this year, I was like, you know what? Let me give this a try. Let me start hearing some more. And this has been an actual great year to really jump into it, you know, because a lot of people have been putting out some good music, man. You know,
yeah.
And there is a lot of stuff out there. I got to get back to what I was doing before and go out and get it. You know what I'm saying? So
what was it about this year though that shifted things for you to have you listening to more projects?
I'll save that for my number 1 spot.
I got you. I think I know what that is too. Shout out to Jacob Allen, said rest in peace to Amy Winehouse. Yeah, rest in peace to Amy Winehouse. And the reason why I believe he brought that up is because this Lupe Samurai album, it has, I think it's like sort of like a tribute in a way to Amy Winehouse. So and I if you listen to that, I feel like the first 2 tracks, there's some similarity. There's a concept happening that ties into the.
It's very jazzy. It's a jazzy type of album, yo.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Jacob Alamo. Rest in peace indeed to Amy Winehouse. So it's good to get that Samurai album, see it here again on the list. I think when this show is done, we'll have to look at which albums showed up multiple times on each, you know, like for each of us, we had an album in common that showed up a few times on our list. So that's something I think interesting to pay attention to, you know. So I'll look at that after the show. But moving right along, Mark, go ahead, man. Let us know what your number 3 favorite album of the year is.
I guess at this, it was kind of a toss up between 2 albums. So actually, see, I get to the next one that I tossed up with. But number 3 has appeared on the list earlier after number, but we're gonna go with the FORCE, the Force.
Wow.
I already forgot what it stood
Another
for,
one,
but yeah, I got it up there. Number 1, LL is super focused.
Let me go to LL. Yep. Bring it back again.
He's super focused. I don't know if he's how many miles he's running a day, how much he's bench pressing.
Right.
It's probably a lot. Because he's super. You mentioned the song Black Coast Suite, which I love that. I love that song so much. He's just talking about black stuff, and he just does it. It's just like it's at a break speed, and it's so crisp. His diction is amazing, and his breath control is so like apparently so like. I never saw him perform live, but I saw snippets of the Force tour. And he's incredible. He sounds just like in the studio. He's not yelling. He's very very crisp. And so many other songs that he's like that. I mean, he's obviously going toe to toe with Eminem and
Shout out to
going
Q-Tip
toe to
too.
toe with excuse me, with Rick Ross, Fat Joe. Like it just sounds like an album. That sounds like a triumvirate there. Rick Ross, LL, Fat. That sounds like a nice little trio where they could actually come up with a couple more joints. And then the reason why I have it so high is because of Q-Tip, who is just, I mean, like he's always ahead of his time. He's always like ahead. And he's resting his laurels of just the days of Hive and those Lucy's that went off producing Deep and all that, but he still keeps reinventing himself, and it's but also keeps it true to the aesthetic of just everything being crisp with the drums, the low end theories to there. I was a big fan. The Last Tribe album, Thank You for Your Service, and really just coming that mode. I mean, his sense of rhythm, his sense of melody is just there's like no other, and it just you mentioned the song was Saweetie. I think it's Proclivities. It's a club song. They really don't make club song more, but it's just like. And with the keys, the way that he's going crazy on the keys with these sounds and chord progressions, Black Hole Suite, Run It Back is my joint.
Run it back.
Run it back. Little nasal voice. Like he's just that dude, man. Like Q-Tip is really just funky as hell.
He has so many different chambers to his sound, man.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but it always comes back to like just this internal head nod. He just knows how to do it. It's like it's easy for him. It's just a natural thing. Anyway, so
I like 30 Decembers. That was my choice.
30 December. Yeah, it lived up to its potential in different ways. So, yes, the Force for RCE, not SCE.
Yeah. And yo, let me shout out Jacob Alamo again. He said going back to the Lupe Fiasco Samurai album, he said it's a concept album based on the fact that Amy Winehouse wanted to do a rap album. Yeah, I remember that now. I was trying to remember the tie-in with that. But yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Thank you. Yeah.
So yeah, man, that LL album, I'm so glad to see it, show up on multiple lists today, man. I'm
glad to see it because he's done so much commercial stuff, right? He's the first real rap superstar, bro.
Right.
The first real rap superstar.
Yeah.
We got to really think about that.
Indeed.
Before your Jay-Z's, before your
built
Biggies,
Def Jam.
before Drake and all these other guys, he was he built Def Jam, the first real rap superstar who changes and kind of goes in a different direction. Nobody would guys wouldn't typically come to Q-Tip unless it's just something really eclectic, know. So for him to choose to be hardcore and go in that area, but I'm gonna do a different type of hardcore, you know what I'm saying? Like, and offer you this offering here, like this is just so different. Like I said, he sounds young, he sounds like vibrant, he sounds like he did, like I said, that 92 flavor. Mama Said Knock You Out, young LL Cool J, hungry, even the joint with what's the Huey joint?
With Bus. Oh God, yeah. No, was that with Nas?
No, he has a joint on there called
Huey in the Chair, Busta Rhymes, yeah.
Huey in the Chair.
Yeah.
Huey in the Chair, yeah.
But yeah,
Busta
the
Rhymes.
Bus joint, yeah.
Yeah, and he's getting conscious, bro. He's spitting some
There's
real
content,
yeah.
He's really
he's not playing it safe and giving you all these lady songs, and that's all he's gonna do. He goes there.
This album got some heavyweights on it too, man. When you think about it, you got Nas, Eminem, Busta. Yeah.
And what's dope about it is that the it's not you would think on a lot of album with all of these features is what supports the album. Not on this album. Like
Yeah.
a lot of the joints that are the highlights of this album, he's there by himself rhyming. You know what I'm saying? So I love to hear that. You asked that question earlier. Another guy like him, you know, to do something like this is inspiring to want you to listen more and have more hope, you know. So
Yeah.
All right, so let's keep it moving. We're down to the last two. So it's my turn. I would say my number 2 favorite hip hop album of the year, and I know you guys are gonna like this one. It's Common and Pete Rock, The Auditorium Volume 1. That is my number 2. It is one of the best albums of the year, no doubt. Let me put it up on the screen real quick. Yep, the Auditorium Volume 1. We did a whole show talking about this album. But yeah, just to go to talk about it again, I would say really done well. The collaboration between Common and Pete Rock. The production is amazing on here. It is a one of a kind album. It's very soulful. I mean, Common is known to rhyme over soulful tracks, but this hits a different pocket in terms of the soulful releases he's put out. I mean, it's not much to say other than just amazing, man. Like he does his thing lyrically on here. Every track just flows from one to the other. There's a lot of memorable tracks on here, tracks that would stand alone. That to me, like on any day, you could, put these tracks on by themselves, and you're like, yo, you're just vibing to it. It feels like a summer album too. Like I feel like this album was released, I believe, in the summer, right? So it gives you that summer sunny day vibe, you know what I'm saying, that I really like about it, man. I don't know what much more to say other than just, it's just a good sounding project from beginning to end. Pete Rock, they found something special, and I hope that they're able to deliver consistently with the other volumes to come. I don't know how soon we'll get a volume 2, but I know I'm here for it. I know I'm looking forward to it, So yeah. The Auditorium Volume 1 by Common and Pete Rock. That's my number 2. Go ahead, A-Level, your turn. Number 2.
Number two. Mach Hommy.
Wow.
Rich A.
Crazy.
Haitian.
Wow.
I am surprised.
Yeah, man.
I'm really surprised, A-Level. I wouldn't have thought that you
Come on, I'm doing my homework, baby.
Yeah.
Wow, and Mach is an acquired taste. It's not everybody. It's not for everybody.
Yeah,
that's pretty dope.
And what opens it up for me is the track number 2 coming off the album, Antonomasia, featuring Roc Marciano. Wow. He has a track called Sanjay. He uses a lot of Haitian Creole referencing, on here, that a lot of stuff I'm familiar with. You know what I'm saying? Sanjay with Mach Hommy and Hepzibah, which is AKA Georgia Ann Muldrow, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So
I figured it was her, but I didn't know who. I didn't know what the reference was. Yeah.
You could hear her all in that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the beat. She did the beat. Yeah.
Yeah. Then he got Pardon featuring the God for him, Your Old Drew. This album just goes track to track to track to track. This is another straight player. Sur les ponts de...
That 90s.
I'm gonna say it right now.
Woo!
I'm gonna say it for y'all, yo.
You gotta get it right.
Yeah.
Sur les ponts d'Avignon. Yo, that joint is crazy.
That is
man.
So dope, man.
Avignon. That joint is crazy. And the joint he got a joint with Black Thought. Man.
Yeah, they
He
probably
had a
do
live
some more
show in New
together.
York recently too.
Yeah, they
I
really
think it was
locked
like,
in.
yeah,
Yeah. I had a lot of fun listening to this album. I was playing this album this week, and yeah,
that's what's up, man.
yeah.
Yo, shout out to Mach Hommy, man.
Mach Homie.
He's
Mach Homie is the homie.
It's pretty dope, man. Pretty dope. What's so funny? Like one time I was at like a car listening was a pop-up shop where that he would do, and I was hearing about Mach Hommy, and I wasn't really checking for him that much, and I met Preservation, and I was asking him, I was like, yo, who, DJ Preservation, I was like, yo, who you feeling right now? He was telling me Mach Hommy, and I was like, all right, I gotta go check him out again. And I think there was an EP that he released with I don't know if Nicholas Craven did the whole EP or if it was just certain songs he did, but there's a track called Wapcon George that I had actually the project was called Wapcon George, and I had really liked that project. That's the project that made me start liking his music, and then I went back listening to some of his previous projects. Then he released what was it, the Pray for Haiti project in 2021. And then he also released a project called Balin's Troll, like in 2021 as well. Like, if you're new to Mach, like go back to his catalog, man. He got some pretty dope projects out there, man. So
Yeah, definitely. This is
Just
making
wanna-
me want to go do some homework and the research, man.
yeah, I think you'll like some of those projects I mentioned as well.
He can really rap. You know what I'm saying? He
He reminds me of a combination of like when he sings, he reminds me of Most.
Yeah.
Sometimes like even 50 Cent sometimes, I hear like the voice, the cadence and stuff. So
Definitely the Yasin Bey, you hear that joint, you know what I mean?
yeah. Shout out to Mach Hommy, man. So Mark, you're number 2.
Yeah, man, keep it up. Keep Mach Hommy up, man. He's number 2, my number as well.
Oh, that's the second time you and
yeah,
tied.
That's my brother.
Dropped, and I was, and like I don't really. To me, every release is like album because I don't know what gets put up or promoted or whatever. But when it dropped, I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, he's back, great. And from first track, I'm like, oh my god, I hope he keeps it up. He does. It's just every song just back to back to back, and it's funny because y'all was talking about great beat pickers, and Mach is that dude. He knows how to pick beats, man, and he knows how to pick beats that are just made for him. You know what I'm saying? Like there's you could tell examples are from like other countries and stuff. He got that what's the song? I think it's Serpent and the Rainbow. With this
Serpent in the Rainbow.
Like this, it's got this little like dude playing the violin and stuff. It's crazy. It reminds me of the same kind of not to come too much, but like JLX, his taste for beats, he'll rhyme over like a French sample or whatever, and it's just he makes it fit, he makes it hit. Not every the beat sounds fire because Mach is killing it. And I mean, the Jersey, by the way, I'm saying, Jersey got something to stand for. This is from, I think, East Orange or Newark. But yeah, you can see. Look at the picture, man. That's Mach, man. Arm at the Haitian flag, face cover, like that's him.
Man.
Definitely he's not shy to representation culture. It shows. I mean, he'll rhyme, in Creole or whatever. He did the joint with Kaitronada, crazy. It sounds like it doesn't belong. I think Kaitronada released maybe a year ago, so it doesn't belong, but it does when he puts it in there. Like it's just something you're not gonna anybody else like him. And as much as he raps, I mean, he's so you know, his presentation, his you know, his flow is, he could be rapping, singing, whatever. Like I never get tired of hearing him. I remember actually, I think I went somewhere, vacation, whatever, and I just going to the airport. I just had him on a show because it's like every song is so different, and he's got so much to say. You can always pick something up. So, Rich, I guess Rich Haitian hashtag.
Yeah, Rich Haitian.
Dope, such a dope album. I mean, could have might as well have been my number one, but it's just tough to pick. So yeah,
Right.
that's funny. Number two as well.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, y'all got this. So, what was the one y'all had in common before? Was it I think it was Kai, and then
It was Kai.
like at the same spot. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's up. So 5 and 2.
That's the twin right there. That's the twin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
to be honest with you, I might have had Kai like as I mentioned, but just thinking about him and just the way you explain everything, like I mean, it was only right to have him up to well two and not leave him out. I don't want him to get him left this year because it was such a crazy year, and his loss.
Right.
You want to remember him. So and just a reminder to me that I got to really get game and study up on him too, and run him around on the emotions. So shout out.
Well, as you guys know, Kai's always been in my top 5 list pretty much every year he's dropped that album. So speaking of him, man, it's no surprise. And just because I've told you guys like multiple times, like he's like my favorite. Like Doom was my number 1 favorite MC, and then Doom passed away, and then Kai was always second. So it was always MF Doom, Kai, and Elzai, right, for a long time, and it's still that way, But Kai became my favorite MC alive when Doom passed away, and now he's no longer here. You know what I'm saying? But so yeah, moving right along. I'm just gonna go with my number 1, and I'm sure you guys can guess it. It's Brownsville Kai.
Yes, sir.
Number 1 favorite album of 2024. Let me bring it back up. Let me just see this. So Brownsville Kai, The Thief Next to Jesus, my favorite hip hop album of 2024, hands down. Not just because of how dope he is lyrically, he poured it all out on this album. For this to be his last album, and I don't know if we'll get posthumous releases, but we'll just go with this being his last official, album. Obviously while he was alive, he poured it all out with this one, man. Like from the first track all the way to the end. There's so much to decipher on this album. Much like a lot of Kai's albums, when you listen to his music, and this is my experience with listening to him, is he just puts you in this mind state of like you could feel like it's a relatable pain. Like when you listen to his music, whatever pain you were going through, you could relate. Like it just brings out the relatability, man. Like he really did his music from a personal place, and I think it resonated with those who were going through struggle or came from struggle, because a lot of times his music is dealing with the struggle that he had to endure coming up in the hood, coming up in Brownsville, Brooklyn, and stuff like that. So and that's one of the things I admired about him. He does that effortlessly on this project as well. He is one of those artists where you really have to listen. But the music is the type of music that like you could be literally like falling asleep or literally getting up out of a sleep. Like, many a times I fell asleep with the headphones, on, right? And that state that you're in, like just getting up, or like say like you, I don't know if you guys ever like fall asleep listening to music and then you get up and you're hearing the music. Like I experienced that with this album and like and some of his other albums too, and like it just puts you like in that same world that he's in. You're like, man, like his, I don't know if I'm describing it right, but like a lot of times when I listen to his music, it's just like you just like you get this like this cold feeling like whew, like you know what I mean? Like wow, like that was deep. Like that's like it makes you feel like that. And if you watched his interview with Red Bull, he did an interview on Red Bull TV. He talks about when he would record his music, he would actually he would put himself in like a room that's like cold, like as though he was back in his youth growing up in Brownsville with no heat. You know what I'm saying? So like he would record in the cold in like, you know, the top of his house or something, I think. So like his music puts you in that frame. If you ever going through any type of struggle, man, like he's like his music feels like he's one with you in the struggle. I don't know there's any artist that's ever done that musically, and he does it again with this album. So shout out to Brownsville Ka. Rest in peace, my brother. Thank you so much for your contribution. You are number one, man, number one, and may your legacy continue to live on. I'm gonna definitely keep, you know, promoting your music, man, that you've come out with, and thank you again for contributing The Thief Next to Jesus, which is my number one favorite hip hop album of 2024. All right, so I'm done with my list, so I'm gonna let A Level and Mark finish it out. And if we have time, I don't know if you guys are gonna stay any longer. If we have time, we could do the honorable mentions. But if not, then you know I could just put the honorable mentions in a blog post without the box media. So go ahead, A Level. Drum roll for your number one.
And probably my number one as well.
Yep. We talking about the Auditorium Volume 1, y'all.
Let's go.
Common and Pete Rock. Oh, yeah. Why don't you wise up, show all the people? Why don't you wise up, show all the people? Wise up, show all the people in the place.
The place.
You know, you open up an album with the single, that's the single coming off your album, man. Like, it just made me excited about music again, and just coming off of a 50-year celebrating hip-hop. What a great way to set it off for the OGs, like, you know what I'm saying, and say, hey, listen, you know, we old, we gold, and we just gonna continue to show people how to set the standard, not just for people in our age bracket, but for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a way that you can actually make an album that is true to your values, your core values of what you believe in, is soulful, and it can still get nominated for best song and best album of the year. You know what I'm saying? Because people want to hear that. People are really want to hear music. They want to hear that stuff, and they want to hear that soul, man. And you know, this album from start to finish, we want to talk about. That's the reason why I started to really venture and say, hey, you know what? Listen, let me give this hip hop thing a chance. You know, there's hope. Listening to this album gave me hope. So that's the answer to your question. This album,
revived A Level,
and you know why also as well too, because I was looking at this album sideways. Right?
Interesting.
You know why I was looking at it sideways? Because of Primo and Nas. Right. I'm like, my legends, my OGs, like you said, I don't like. Kanye was asking me earlier, because I like it because it's Redman. No, I don't like it just because it's Redman. I want the best from my people.
You do.
I expect from them. So I don't care if it's Dilla. If it's a good garbage album, it's a garbage album. You know what I'm saying? So, and they come out and they do this. I'm like, wow, I was not expecting that. And like I said, this gave me a lot of Pete Rock and CL vibes in terms of their chemistry, lyrically, beat wise. They brought their A game to it, and it just basically upheld throughout the entire album. And it wasn't just Pete just making beats; it was Pete rhyming too, y'all. He's rapping.
Word.
He's rapping on there. He's ad-libbing on there. Man, like I can't tell you which ones is my favorite from day to day. It was just shifting, but when the sun shines again, it's still up there for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can listen to that song every day. It's such a
when my kids are singing when my kids are singing when the sun shines again.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You know it's a hit.
Bring
tear
to your eye.
and they're not hip hop at other ears at all. They listen to a lot of soul music. You know what I'm saying? So for them to be saying when the sun shines again, they call hip hop boy music. You know, boy music. That's boy music.
I like it. Yeah.
You know, so bro, salute to the two, man.
Absolutely,
but
man.
definitely, I really pray that Pete wins this, because once he wins this, man, like that's his flowers. The flowers.
Right. Well deserved.
Without Pete, you don't hear hip hop the same way you hear it. You know.
Yeah, I would love to see them win the Grammy, man. That would be so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that, man. Pete and Common, man. That would be so amazing. I would love to see that. Who they up against again? I gotta look up that Grammy list.
It's not.
Cold Derivation is up in there too.
Oh, for real?
Kendrick is not on it because he dropped later on in the year.
Too late.
So I'm curious to see who they up against, because they might win if it's not that big of a competition, you know.
So Many People is still one of my joints, man. Like,
okay.
Everything's so grand now and then.
Yeah, man, they definitely delivered, man. And like, I don't know if you guys got a chance.
And you know what? I'm sorry too. The outro. It's my favorite joint. It's the best. You know, it's only 56 seconds, but the outro is ridiculous, yo. Even I think on their Mark, you heard their the Questlove Supreme podcast, right?
Right.
With talking to Pete Rock, right? And Common.
Yeah.
I think he gave a little. He didn't. I don't know if he executive produced it, but he was involved with a lot of like overseeing a lot the sequencing of the album.
Yeah,
which explains a lot to why the album just sounds so cohesive.
Yeah, he kind of bragged about it a little bit. Yeah, he was very happy to be able to sequence the album. Yeah, which is cool. Yeah. But that,
I think he did the outro too.
For real? Wow.
Dope.
Yeah, that I mean,
dope, man.
Yeah, this is number one too. I mean, number one as well. I mean, we talked about, but you know,
another one. Y'all tied again. That's 3 albums.
I mean, I kind of knew. I knew
2 and 1.
Activate.
We'll tell you the Mach Hommy was a surprise.
Activate.
That really was a surprise.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, man, what haven't we said about that these two? I mean, it's really been great. It's really been great just to see the rebirth of two legends who, you know, kind of, you know, worked adjacent. I mean, well, not adjacent to being you, and maybe another 1 or 2 C's, but to really lock in and do a full album. Right. I do understand that, like, it was around time when the Primo and Nas stuff was coming around, and you just like, really, like, do we we just move on? Right. And I was like, I've never been so wrong about anything, and you know, in terms of just anticipation, you know, a lot of the times you wait, things get shelved, or things finally come out. It's not the same. That's just not what they wanted to be. And you know, a lot of times it just has to do with whatever the current climate is, the appetite for music at that time, whatever the label wants, sample clearances, you name it. Everything's been up in the air in terms of like compromising the quality of the final product. And this, I mean, there may have been changes, there may have been something that they wanted differently as the end result, but I mean, it doesn't sound like it. I mean, it's just I mean, every song is just, I mean, you know, just so well done. Sound, like we were saying, you know, at the tribute chat about, it's just the warmth of it is just amazing. Sound just fills up any room. The type of album that you might have mentioned this too. It sounds good on your phone. Like you just start playing through your phone speakers and you just, wow, like this is really like, you know, you can feel it. You can really feel it. It just gets better with every listen. So yeah, this was one of my few vinyl purchases of new music this year. So yeah.
Wow, you bought you caught the vinyl to this joint? Wow.
I did.
It's a worthy vinyl purchase. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was it was great. It was just magic. So hopefully it's volume 2. I'm sure it's coming. I'm split because I don't want it to disappoint. I don't want it to sour. You know,
right.
You know, whatever the legacy has been created, but I'm ready for it.
Catch 22, man.
Yeah. It is what it is. This will always be you know, sort of a classic, a modern classic.
Word up, man.
You got so many people, man. That's like I said, this album is just like, it makes me happy when I listen to it. And it came out in the summer, right? What a great time for an album to come out when you could just play it and you could be at the cookout and the barbecue and just let that joint burn, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's perfect, you know.
Yeah, man. It's definitely a highlight of the year, man.
Yeah,
I think it's like the
album.
shining album of the year. It's like the Prince album. Of the year.
It is. It's one of these albums, like, you know, that I will recommend to like my friends who don't really listen to hip hop that much,
right?
Or I don't know where they're at in terms of what they like, but just knowing them for years and knowing that like there's some type of, you know, they have like hip hop as it once was. This is a great like sort of just refresher for them to be like, okay, I like it. This is hitting. It's kind of cool. Or you know, like me and Al, we can't stop talking about it and just, you know, really just thankful that it happened. So it's a very universal album. It's hard not to like this album. You know what I mean? It's really, when someone says they don't like it, you're like, oh, okay. Right.
It will definitely meet anybody anywhere where you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I was like, all right, maybe I won't recommend any music to you anymore. But yeah, it's dope.
I feel like this album was also special for Common's career too, because, you know, Common's another artist that releases albums consistently, and I feel like his music was starting to get to a place where like it just was becoming a little repetitive, and I think he needed something to stand out. Right. And this pairing with Pete Rock made a lot of sense. Now it could have flopped, right? You know, but you know, because not every time you pair up with a elite producer, it always does well. But I think on paper the pairing was enough for people to be excited about. But in addition to that, it actually delivered when it came out. So it was a win-win. You know?
I think the real big difference in all of this is that you can hear that they were both around each other when they were producing the songs. I think that makes a big difference than you just passing the DAC and passing the tape and passing the file. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it's something about both of y'all being in the same place at the same time, when you have that creative energy, you can hear it and it translates well when you listen to it, you know.
So there you have it, man. Number 1, Kai for me, Kai Thief Next to Jesus, but for A-Level and Mark, it's Common and Pete Rock, the Auditorium Volume 1. And there it is, man. So it's after 1 on the East Coast. It's totally up to y'all. If y'all want to go through the honorable mentions, we don't have to stay long with them. We could just run through them quickly. But I do want to take a moment to shout out Collegiate's releases that he didn't get a chance to share. So I know he stopped at Tyler the Creator. So I'm just gonna go down that list. He also his collegiate who was here earlier, who gave his list, he had to leave earlier, but the releases that he didn't get a chance to share that's on his top 10 were also Doshi, Alligator Bites Never Heal, Concrete Boys, It's Us Volume 1, Schoolboy Q, Blue Lips, Common and Pete Rock, The Auditorium Volume 1, Roc Marciano, Marciology, and Larry June, Doing It For Me.
Hmm.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's going in that order with Larry June being number one. So
Okay.
yeah, shout out to Collegiate who was here earlier, man. Yeah, so I wanted to share that because I know he gave in his list earlier. Yeah. So what y'all want to do, man? Y'all want to call it a night, or y'all want to go quickly with the honorable mentions? It's up to y'all.
Listen, man, I did my homework, man. So I'm gonna get this out. Man.
All right.
Honorable mentions is Gangrene, Heads I Win, Tails You Lose.
Mm-hmm.
Talib Kweli and Jay Rawls, The Confidence of Knowing. Talib Kweli and Madlib, Liberation 2.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie Gibbs, You Only Die Once. And Slum Village, Fun.
Nice. I like that. And there's a few on there that we actually no. You said Ka earlier, Jacob. He said Ka earlier. He said no Ka. Ka was in his top 10. It was number 5, Jacob. You gotta tune back. Yeah, but that was dope. That was dope for honorable mentions. I'll go.
Scrap the list.
I have my honor. Do you want to go, Mark, or
No,
I can give.
I'm finally chatting, cracking up. Sorry, but
yeah, you gotta go back to about the timestamp, like 36 minutes, Jacob.
Yeah, we all put Kyle on our list. They put it at number 5, and I put it as number 1. So I'll go with my honorable mentions. It's funny because I don't know. This may change, but I'll go with 11 would be Cavalier, Different Type Time. That's my 11. I guess what we say is honorable mention. So Cavalier, Different Type Time, Skyzoo, Keep Me Company, Willie Evans Jr., Good Grief Volume 1. That's an EP actually. Redman, Muddy Waters 2, LL Cool J, The Force. So yeah, I'll just go with those. But look for my full list. I'm probably gonna have about 51 favorite projects for the year on my list that I post to outtheboxmedia.com. So make sure y'all go look for that. But yeah, those are my honorable mentions, at least for now. But you'll get my full list on the website, outtheboxmedia.com. Just give me a few days and you'll see the post for that. But yeah, go ahead, Mark. Do you got any honorable mentions you want to share?
yeah. So I guess I do now, but yeah. So if I had to pick one honorable mention, it would be Freeway and Jake One Package 2.
Nice.
See a sequel to Stimulus Package 1. Stimulus Package 2 is crazy. It's got, I mean, it's just in the hip hop tradition of features. You got PD Crack, out to PD, whole State Property fam. Who else is on there? Shoot, Jada Kiss. So I mean, else? I think there's some Griselda on as well too. I mean, it's just raw hip hop. It's just the beats are crazy. Jake One, of course. Jake One's to me like a genius. Can do so much with so little. And just has a great knowledge of just how a record should sound. And then of course, Freeway. I mean, just for the youngin' out there was a point where Freeway was like the guy. Like you could not um Rockefeller State Property Days. They would rhyme on radio. They would rhyme on radio. They would go on battle each other. And nobody could be Freeway because his style was so unorthodox. His voice was so crazy. Still this day, you go to a Sixers game and you're gonna hear Freeway and the Young Guns and the crack. Like, I really just, I mean, it's just, I mean, they create history, and it's just good to hear Freeway just rhyming at that level. For those who don't know, Freeway's been through a lot of tragedy in his life, losing two of his children at young ages, which I couldn't even imagine. And the brother is so strong. Just I think had a kidney transplant, was on dialysis, like dealt with his own personal issues, and just carrying on like a soldier, really, just doing what he got to do. So yeah, Freeway is the number one honorable mention. To Roc Marciano, Alchemist for Skeleton Key. I don't think I just am on there because the album was too short or something. I forget. Where am I at? I guess there's a couple of y'all mentioned too, but they've already mentioned, so there's no need to mention those people. But yeah, so yeah, that's, I mean, I'm sure if you slip through the list, slip through the cracks, but it's just been that type of year pop where it's been so many good albums coming out. So great,
Yeah, man, and the year's not done yet. You think you guys think we get a surprise
No.
before in the next few days?
Three more days.
We'll see. Do you think the Primo and Nas album may be surprised on New Year's Eve? Like, you feel like, I don't know.
I'm still looking at it sideways, man.
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed by that song. That Feeler song actually scared me. It didn't entice
You said it scared you. Yeah, man. Word. And yo, Jacob, we did. I know he was asking about the Kai.
Yeah, he's talking about Kai, collegiate.
Oh, okay.
His list.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I don't think he put Kai on the list, but yeah, Collegiate's a little younger, you know, so he has a slightly different taste than us too, you know. So, but yeah, big ups to Collegiate for being a part of the show, man. Thank you for your contribution, and thank you to you brothers, man. We went a lot longer than we expected to today, but we're talking about 30 albums between, you know, and even more if you include Collegiate, you know, between all of us that we had to talk about today. So yeah, man, I'm gonna post this on the blog outtheboxmedia.com. As you guys can see the ticker at the bottom of the screen. Go visit the website, subscribe to the website, you know, if you want to be updated with you know, things related to Out the Box. Every month I do a best hip hop and best soul albums and EPs of the month list. You have to do my soul album list. You know, we've done that before, Mark, right? Where we shared.
I said you.
Yeah, send me yours, A Level, if you got any soul projects.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll compile the full list, you know, on the website. So those that's tuning in, if y'all want to see the full list, in addition to this 10 and the honorable mentions, go check out the website. And again, subscribe to the website when you get a chance. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channels, feel encouraged to subscribe there as well, so you can be updated or notified when we go live or when we have new shows. But yeah, man, it's been a pleasure doing this with y'all. I wish y'all all the best in 2025, which is right around the corner. I think this was a spectacular year for hip hop, especially from the legends, from the OGs, from the veterans. If one thing this year showed us is that a lot of the artists that we came up on, that we grew up on, they still got it, and they still have something extremely valuable to share in hip hop. And I say that to encourage anyone who you know, has been you know, doing music, and is feeling like, you know what, I don't know if I should come back out, or, you know, they want to hang it up. If you got art to share, go ahead and share it. You know what I mean? Shout out to Cover Boy who just joined the chat. Big ups for tuning in as well, man. I don't know how much of the video you got to see, but you can go and check it back out again.
Jacob Alamo says, I'm just messing around with y'all, but shout out to all of y'all.
No doubt. Shout out to you, Jacob. Thanks for tuning in and contributing on the show. Everybody else that tuned in, we thank you so much. Really appreciate y'all. And yeah, man, we got more shows to come, man. We gonna close out the show. Any last words y'all want to share, A Level?
Nah, man, this was definitely a great show. I left this show edified by all the information that I heard, from you guys, and I'm going to continue to do my homework. We'll see y'all next year.
Yes, man, 2025. And look, if we get a surprise between now and December 31st, you know what I mean? I'm not saying we're gonna do another show, but
right.
Stay tuned to Out the Box Media so you can stay updated. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Cover Boy. We spoke about the Redman new album. It definitely made our list. It made it was in my honorable mentions, but I know it made A Level's list as well. It's so recent that a lot of us haven't gotten a chance to really listen to it in full, but we like what we hear, man. We really do. But yeah, man. So yes, after one, man, I'm getting tired.
Yeah.
Pleasure being on on this stream with y'all, man.
Some of us got dialysis appointments tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? For real.
But listen, man, I look forward, man. I look forward to more shows like this, man. We do this every year, man. So how long we been doing this, guys? Like, I think it's been like the last 5 years now. We've been doing this annual. Yeah.
I think this is we've been doing this through the whole pandemic, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. We've been doing this. I think we first got together with the Nas King's Disease album, that first album. Shout out to J Rag, who we haven't seen him in a while. I know we spoke with him. I spoke with him briefly, a bit for the Kendrick Lamar Drake showdown and stuff that happened. That's another epic thing that happened this year, So
that's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So it's a pleasure, man, having y'all once again. And thank you to everyone who tuned in, man. So yeah, anything y'all want to say before we close out?
All I want to say is, what happened to peace? Peace.
Man, we about to be out, man. Go check out the video, man. And my apologies, I did start the show a little late today, man. So I know Coverboy is saying he got in late. But yeah, go ahead and check out the video. It'll be up for you to check it out, man. And again, thank you to everybody that tuned in. We're gonna see y'all on the next one. We're gonna catch y'all on the next one. Peace, love, and light. We out of here. All right.